All right.
Hey, Cinema Surfers. Sorry, I had to say that.
All right, I think we're good. I think we're live here. Let me just make sure here on YouTube. Yep, we're good. We're good. All right. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another live stream with Nate and Jackson Toucan Sam is in the building. We're going to answer your guys' live questions, and we're going to go through Instagram questions first to start out. I'm also going to put this on Instagram and stuff, let everyone know. We're going to answer your guys' live questions.
Sorry, I'm trying to pause.
No, you're good. You're good. Nate,
do a whole repeat.
What?
I said you're messing it up already, Nate.
Yeah, it's good old echo. I just be a tool and echo you the whole stream.
That's awesome. Actually, you know what? There's some people hitting the chat. Let's shout them out real quick. Art, good to see you, man.
Peter Austria. Sorry.
Peter, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Nicholas, what's up, Nicholas?
Welcome to BYUI, Nicholas.
Yeah, welcome. Well, I'm not in Rexburg anymore, but have fun in Rexburg, man. No contacts today? No, I'm not wearing contacts today. But all right. Anyway, let's go over an Instagram question first. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off, okay? So we kind of had some questions sent in from Instagram from some people, and I want to go over one from actually Peter, who's in the chat right now. Peter asked, best lead/support performance ever. His are There Will Be Blood by Daniel Day-Lewis and The Dark Knight by Heath Ledger. And Jackson, why don't you start us off with that question?
So for lead, I'm actually gonna go with Kathy Bates from Misery.
Wow.
Yeah,
I like that answer.
I mean, you think about it, that movie, I don't think about that movie as a whole. I only think of the things with her in it. And
that's true.
So for that reason alone, it's just like Misery isn't even a movie. It's more like, oh, here's a showcase for how good Kathy Bates can be. And then supporting, I mean, it's a cop-out to say Heath Ledger, but I'm going to go ahead and do it because how can you beat that? It's the best. It's if we're going to go with of all time, it might even just be the single best performance ever.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
For supporting, definitely.
Yeah. Nate?
Well, okay. So for lead, I'm going to go ahead and say James Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life. Because he's amazing. And for supporting, I'm going to have to go for Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO in the Star. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not doing that.
I was like,
go for it. You got me good.
The way he moves his arms, man, I don't know how he does it. No, for supporting, I totally agree, Heath Ledger. But just to be different, I'm going to go with Andrew Garfield in The Social Network.
Oh, yes. Good
choice.
Choice.
Biggest Oscar snub ever, which is a future question. Anyways.
So for me, I'm gonna go with for supporting, I'll go with Heath Ledger. I mean, that's my favorite performance of all time, I think.
So good.
And I think lead,
Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Just kidding.
No.
I'm joking.
I love that performance, but no. For lead, I will say man, Kathy Bates was a good one that I didn't even see coming, but oh man, that's hard, man. I'll go Leo DiCaprio for Wolf of Wall Street. I really like that performance. I think it's super underrated. I know he didn't win for that performance, but I love his performance in that movie. He's hilarious in that movie, and every single time I watch that movie, I'm just so captivated by him and by Margot Robbie's beauty. Those are the two things, you know.
Very good.
But Nate, did you want to go through a certain question that you found on Instagram that you liked, that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, please. Let me pull up. Oh, man. Fun fact, I was going to say the guy who plays Darth Maul, but I couldn't remember his name, so I went with Anthony Daniels.
Ray Park?
Like Ray Park?
Yeah,
it is Ray Park. But I couldn't get to it in time, and I just saw Anthony Daniels when that came out.
I only know that because he's the frog dude in X-Men, and I totally watched that scene. You know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? Same thing that happens to him.
Worst line ever.
It's like, man, you really got him there.
Yeah, I know. It's such an awful line. He's like flying away. He's like, she's not wrong. Like, what? Okay, sorry. Okay, Gavin says, first off, do more live streams. So thank you, Gavin. And then he says, second, what film puts you on the edge of your seat every time you watch it? I'm gonna wait, I have a lot. I don't know. I'll say I don't know, dude. I love suspenseful movies, but the things that come to mind are Dunkirk, Rear Window, and Wages of Fear. But I've only Wages of Fear once.
I was definitely gonna put Wages of Fear up there. Man, that's tough though, because it's like you said, Nate. Like those are my favorite kind of movies. They're suspense movies, so it's like, I watch those all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go with Wages of Fear as one of them. Uncut Gems for sure. That's tough. I guess I'll just say those two so I don't spend a whole minute thinking about it. But yeah, Uncut Gems and Wages of Fear. Anytime I watch those, I'm always like, stop! Yeah. And then, it keeps going.
Really quickly, Gavin just joined the chat, the one who asked the question. So welcome, Gavin.
Heck yeah. Welcome, yeah. He even said it. He's like, I joined when you asked.
I love the pick of Uncut Gems. I definitely agree. That movie, dude, if you want to watch a movie that like you feel like you're having a heart attack the entire time throughout, watch that movie. And then the second movie that I chose, I'm surprised that neither of you kind of said this, but A Quiet Place. That movie puts me on the edge of my seat every single time. And that's so rewatchable too. And every single time, even though I know what's coming, I'm still like so invested and still so like terrified at the same time because like, wow,
no, I agree with you. That's a good pick.
Yeah. Sorry, I just think that like the more I watch The Quiet Place, I don't know, I don't know, it gets less and less on my list, but I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, because you know the entire movie, which sounds like, okay, duh, that's the same with every movie. But like the reason it's so cool the first time is because you're like, wow, I've never seen something like this. And you see it the second time, you're like, all right, this is just kind of like not as fun as the first time. And I've only seen it twice, and it's been a little bit since I saw it the second time. But I like it. It's just like not my favorite. I saw it in the theaters with Jackson, fun fact.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's actually it's really fun because I've only rewatched it with a group, like groups of people. So I haven't seen it by myself. So anytime I watch it with friends, it's always fun because some of them haven't seen it. And so you're like, oh, you don't even know what you're in for. But that also goes for like Uncut Gems is like, I watched that movie. I've watched it alone, but like, it's so much fun watching other people because like, I know what's happening. And even though I still go like, ugh, the whole movie, like watching other people go even more extreme because they don't know what's about to happen. It's just so much fun. And that whole movie, Nick, you nailed it. It does feel like you're having a heart attack, that whole movie. From like the moment Adam Sandler comes on screen, you're just like, dude, just stop making the wrong decision for one second, please.
Exactly.
Use your head.
He's a really hard character, like, and he plays a character that is really hard to like, but you still love him in a way. You know what I mean, Jackson? Like, I don't know if you feel the same way, but like, you don't like him, but like, there's so much sympathy there for him.
I think, and I think the point is that he does terrible things, but at the end of the day, he is a guy that always is down on his luck. And as an audience member, just anybody, you hate seeing that for your main character. You don't want to see them keep getting knocked down. You want to see them eventually have to succeed. But yeah, the ending of that movie, Nate, when you see it, man, you're just gonna know, and you're gonna be like, okay.
Fair enough.
By the way, I just wanted to point out, Mr. Sushi, welcome. You came for Nate. I think we all came for Jackson, I think. Nate's great, but like, come on. When do we ever get to see Jackson's beautiful face? You know?
You came for Nate, but you're staying for the Spider-Verse poster in the background of Nick's screen.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. That's great.
Did I purchase tickets for the New York Film Festival? What? Who do you think I am, Mr. Roger Ebert over here? No, I did not purchase a ticket.
I recently, I got a ticket from Walmart when I got my oil changed. So that's like the most recent ticket I've gotten. I got a speeding ticket up last month. Had to go to defensive driving school.
No way.
Yeah, it was called Piece of Cake Defensive Driving School. It was awful. They like require you to be on each question for 15 minutes, on each screen for 15 minutes. So what I would do is I would answer the questions in like 2 minutes and then just watch Spider-Man Homecoming. And then I would like, once it loaded, I would go on to the next question. So
really that dumb. Is so dumb.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, Nate, because I literally had to go like all over the place today to get car stuff. So kind of that's literally like my last ticket too.
Supposedly the film festival is online. We can rent films for like $12. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Go to New York. Yeah. Want me to do another question?
Yeah, Jackson. Do you want to pick out a question that you really liked?
Yeah.
I figure we could just kind of like go in order.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know what I mean?
I like this one. That is from. I'm just gonna spell it so I don't butcher it. It's IOAN_Cosma, and they asked favorite cinematographer's film.
That's a good question.
I don't even have a favorite cinematographer.
Nick, you should go ahead since me and Nate answered the last two questions first.
I mean, I guess the stereotypical answer is Roger Deakins, right?
Yeah.
Would that be like the stereotypical answer? Either him or what's the other guy? The one who did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He's kind of big too. I think his last name is like Richardson or something.
Oh, like Robert Richardson.
Robert Richardson. Yeah. I'll go with him. I'll say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I love the way that movie shot. I mean, I don't know. That's a really tough question, and I love that question. It's really hard for me to like think of other cinematographers off the top of my head.
Yeah, that's a good choice, though. I like that. Man, my favorite cinematographer is Roger Deakins, but I'm not going to pick one of his movies because you could pick any one of his movies and anybody would be like, "Oh, that's a good pick."
Yeah.
Any one of his movies. So I'm going to go with Emmanuel Lubezki, who mainly shoots like for Alfonso Cuarón and like
Roma,
Terrence Malick. But actually, my favorite one is Tree of Life. I think that movie has some of the most beautiful cinematography. Now, as a whole of a film, it's better than just the cinematography, and Nate's going to back me up on that. But but the cinematography from Emmanuel Lubezki is A-okay.
Okay. I am going to go with this good old guy named Wally Pfister.
It's a Wonderful Life. Did he?
No, he didn't. I just looked him up. He is the cinematographer for a lot of Nolan's films, and Inception is my favorite. But I love cinematography in all of Nolan's films because of the IMAX camera, and they just all of them look so good. He didn't do Dunkirk or Tenet, and I really liked Dunkirk, but he did do the Dark Knight trilogy, Inception, The Prestige. So I don't know if he's like my favorite, but I've always loved the look of Nolan films, so I'll just go ahead and say him for Inception.
That's a good answer. I would agree because I really like how like watching those movies, like they all have like when you look at the lighting, it's very similar. Like all of those movies are kind of the same when it comes to the lighting. But yeah, that was a good question, Jackson. Way to stump us.
We could have all totally prepared for this.
You need to be on the spot. You have to be honest.
Oh, Peter, I love your comment. Tree of Life is a bad movie.
Oh, Peter, man. You know who loves Tree of Life, and I hope they're still on here, is Nicholas. He loves Tree of Life.
Oh, that's true.
Back me up on this, Nicholas. Back me up. I know you love Tree of Life, so show some love. I know I can't be the only one. I can't be an apologist.
Forget you, Jackson. You're like, what?
He's like, actually, in the span of this conversation, I've realized that I actually hate that
movie. Okay, Nick, your turn to choose a question.
Yeah. So, hold on. I gotta pull up the questions again. You know, I always come prepared every time. This one's great, and I think this was probably gonna be like Jackson's next question. By J.J.C. Russell.
J.J. Abrams.
Do you ever get worried that the all-time greats won't get appreciated in the future? That's a great question. Anybody want to take the ball first on that one?
You go ahead, Nate.
Dang it, I was just going to say, take it away, Jackson. This was a question that I saw, but I'll be honest, I didn't really think too much into it because I've honestly never thought that. I've always just kind of assumed that the all-time greats will always be considered all-time greats. Now, with that being said, recently, obviously, Gone with the Wind has been a subject in conversations with the content it has, and so that right there is considered an all-time great. But then it's like, is it really as great as we remember it? That's why I think it's wise that HBO Max had that little introduction saying, like, it's obviously appropriate to its time that it takes place in, but that like we don't agree with what's in it. But what I'm getting at is I've always just kind of felt that the all-time greats will always be the all-time greats. I don't know. It's not something that has ever really been on my mind. Maybe you guys have a better answer.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, and I think I have thought about this. Like, anytime like I watch a Criterion that's from like the 30s or maybe even like the 40s, even, I'm just kind of like, I wonder how many people in like 20 years will look back at this movie. Like, I wonder, but I don't ever think of it as like, I wonder if this movie will ever be forgotten, because clearly those kind of movies have their mainstay. Like you said, Nate, like Gone with the Wind, or even like It's a Wonderful Life. Those movies will never be forgotten because they have such staples to them. But movies like, you know, man, I'm trying to find a good example of like an old movie that nobody really even knows anymore. I guess like a silent movie, say like a Chaplin movie, because they are silent. You know, it's the silent era, and that's not as popular as classic Hollywood. So I do kind of, I guess I could see that being, I'm scared for those movies because those movies could easily be lost in translation.
My feeling is like, with how many great movies we get now, which I think is far less than them, I feel like I'm not too worried about it. What I mean by that is, like, if you look at the general, like, let's just take a genre like horror. Okay, horror has, over the past like I don't know, 20, 25 years, it's really taken a dip. It really hasn't been nearly the same genre, and like we still have those great all-time films, like, you know, Halloween, or something like Nightmare on Elm Street, something like The Omen, stuff like that. Movies that like still to this day people love and still talk about and appreciate. And so like I don't really feel that worried that they're going to be gone forever, because I mean, realistically, we get a lot of movies now, but a lot of the movies we get now are crap. A lot of them are just really not good movies. So they're movies that, those movies will be forgotten for sure. Like, who remembers what's that movie where Tiffany Haddish or something last year, like a Boss or something? Who remembers that? Like, honestly,
I don't even know what you're talking about. So that's a good point.
So like, I'm not too worried about the all-time greats. I think Citizen Kane will always be, you know, in the spotlight. I think It's a Wonderful Life will always be in the spotlight. Star Wars will always be in the spotlight, and they deserve to be, because they're some of the greatest films of all time. So, you know, maybe to the I think we should be worried about the general movie-going audience, but those who are like die-hard film fans, you know, and they really kind of like live, breathe, and eat movies, I guess, if that's like the saying. Those people will always treasure, you know, the love for classic cinema and some of the all-time great films.
Love it. Okay, next question is also from Gavin. I like this one a lot, though. If you're trying to be as objective as possible, what is Spielberg's best film? I'm not gonna go first. One of you guys go first.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go first, Nick.
I'll say Jaws.
Really?
Wow.
I will say Jaws, and here's
Really?
one of the biggest reasons. That movie would have been horrible if it actually got executed the way Spielberg wanted at first. He wanted to use the shark a lot more.
Yeah.
But there was something wrong with the mechanical shark, where it only, you know, it impeded him to only have, you know, to only be able to use it for a certain amount of time. And I think that made objectively like his best film, because number one, it's still heralded as an all-time classic. Number two, it's a movie that every single time, I've never heard one person say Jaws is horrible or Jaws sucks or anything like that. Like, for the most part, Jaws is so beloved. And objectively, like, looking at the score when you look at the score, by the master John Williams, which is amazing. And it's like heart-inducing and heart-pounding and like adrenaline pumping. Just an amazing score. You have amazing performances by Richard Dreyfuss and the other guy that I'm spacing on his name right now. And then you have a really, really great shark, like a really great creature that actually terrifies you. Like people don't want to go into the ocean after watching this movie. Like my wife, for example, I've asked her, I was like, have you ever seen Jaws? She's like, no. I'm like, will you ever want to watch Jaws? She goes, no, because I know that a lot of people, when they watch Jaws, they don't want to go to the ocean. They're done. They're like, no, not for me. So I think objectively, what he was able to do with Jaws, with the budget that he had, I mean, I think it's his best film, like objective.
It also created a summer blockbuster. It was like the first big summer blockbuster.
Yeah.
Jackson, you can go.
Oh man. I hate that the question says like be as objective as possible because
I know because I want to be subjective.
Yeah. I know I want to say E.T. hands down, but
me too. That's my favorite one by him.
Oh, it's so frustrating. That being said, though, it's between Schindler's List or Saving Private Ryan for me, but I'm honestly going to go with Schindler's List. And I think that's just because I think it doesn't even feel like a Spielberg film. Like it just feels like we're watching that time in history. It doesn't even feel like, Spielberg put his touch on the Holocaust. It's like, no, that's just like, that's how it was. That's you experience the Holocaust in that movie. So I think for that reason, and it won him his first Best Director award.
Yeah.
So, and for him to have made all those classic blockbusters beforehand and not even win for a single one of them and then go and make Schindler's List. And it's almost like, okay, it's like your crown for all of those achievements before.
I haven't seen Schindler's List yet. It's on Netflix. It's leaving by the end of the month. I am watching it this month. It's Holocaust
on it.
Are really, really hard to watch, man.
Just be prepared for when you watch it to have an awful day afterwards. It's a really sad.
You're gonna want to like just throw up after, like not even cry, not even sad. You just want to get out of your body. You're just like, I feel so disgusted.
Okay, so I would say Schindler's List too, and so I'm just gonna continue on with what Jackson was saying. It's just a movie that when you're watching it, you can't believe that this happened in history. And I feel like Steven Spielberg in a lot of ways is like a modern day Frank Capra. I've always thought of Frank Capra as the feel-good movie director, where all his movies have a very happy ending. For those in the comments who aren't aware, Frank Capra did It's a Wonderful Life, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, It Happened One Night. And so all those movies are very happy-going movies. And if there's anything... What?
Arsenic and Old Lace.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
I love that movie.
And with all those movies, if there's some sort of like problem, it always ends happily. It's always a good ending. And I feel like in a lot of ways, Spielberg is the modern day Frank Capra. And I know that Spielberg loves Frank Capra too. And so you almost would think that Spielberg directed Life is Beautiful because that's kind of like a happy Holocaust film in a lot of ways. But like you were saying, Jackson, Schindler's List, it just doesn't feel like a Spielberg film. It's one of those movies that you put on the same tier as like The Godfather, where it's a completely different level of film.
Yeah.
And so like, while Schindler's List to me is definitely not subjectively his best, just because it's not rewatchable at all, just because of the subject matter, objectively, I would have to say that like he accomplished something amazing. But Nick, honestly, I really like your answer too, and that would probably be it's hard because like my toss-ups are like Saving Private Ryan, Schindler's List, Jaws, I think is a good answer. And even like Jurassic Park. I love Jurassic Park, but that's subjective. So,
yeah.
But anyways, I love the answer of Jaws too. So I think, Jaws and Schindler's List, those are good thoughts.
All right, Jackson. I think it's your turn now to pick a question.
No. Time.
You can, Sam. I'm sorry. You
can, Sam. Make sure you get it right. This one comes from No. There he is. It's Gavin again.
Good old Gavin.
Oh, no, it's not.
Okay.
It's Liam. His name's Liam.
Oh, Liam. Oh yeah, Liam had like the dark questions.
Yeah, and that's what I'm gonna give us is
All right, cool.
what movies or scenes in movies gave you nightmares?
Mm. Watcher in the Woods starring Betty Davis. That movie horrified me as a kid.
Are we okay? So are we gonna classify it as like what gave us nightmares as a kid, or nightmares like after we watched
I
it?
kind of think of it as like you couldn't sleep that night.
Yeah, the worst case of it. That's kind of the way
I'd say Hereditary for me then.
Hereditary for me too, honestly.
I
For
could
me,
not
it's
sleep after I watched that movie. It was one of the worst nights of sleep I've ever gotten.
yeah. And honestly, sorry, I'm just like hopping right into this. Honestly, normally movies, I can watch a scary movie and go to bed afterwards. Hereditary was the first time in years that I had a sleepless night where like I woke up thinking that Toni Collette would be on my ceiling staring down at me or something. It was horrifying. And then at younger ages, like The Ring, The Others, honestly, Watcher in the Woods, like those movies creep me out as a kid.
I would not say Hereditary. I like Hereditary, but I have talked about it. Like my last video, I said it was overrated because I do think it's overrated. That's just my, subjective opinion. And what does my opinion matter? I didn't find it scary, so I can't say that movie. And I watched at night. For me, when I was a kid, Halloween. That's why it's my all-time favorite horror movie. Like the fact that he literally throughout the entire movie is stalking his prey the entire time. Like that creeped me out. Like
realistic too.
Especially the scene where Lori gets home from school. She goes up to her room. She looks out the window and he's staring right there at her.
Wow, that is horrifying.
Yeah, it's horrifying, dude. I looked immediately when I saw that for the first time. I looked immediately out my window because I thought. So I would say that, and then also like maybe recently, I don't know. It's really hard. I love horror movies, and they don't really scare me nearly enough. I'll say The Conjuring, maybe. I didn't like have nightmares or anything, but it was a movie that really creeped me out. And there's a movie that I really want to see. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. It's a movie that I'm planning on seeing it this October for like Halloween. The Babadook. I've heard that movie.
Oh yeah, I've seen The Babadook.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, we've seen The Bob. Nick, I think that was one I recommended to you too.
You recommended it to me, Nate.
I did, yeah. That was a movie. I don't think it necessarily gave me nightmares as far as I remember, but it was a movie that when I watched it, I remember I was watching it in my room and my closet door was open and I was too scared to stand up and close my closet door. Like I was just like so glued in my place, but I've only seen it once, but like it was freaky.
Oh, you just brought that movie up and it reminded me of the scene where she's just washing the dish. She looks up at her neighbor. She's watching TV, looks down, washes, looks up. There he is just in the house watching her across.
Yeah, no, that movie is amazing with its jump scares. Honestly, amazing.
No,
yeah, I've heard it's not cheap either. Like that's what I don't like about a lot of modern horror movies. The jump scares are awful. One of the here's a good horror movie that I think I recommend for both of you guys to watch. It's called Host. It's on Shudder. It's really making the rounds. Like this director made this low budget film and now he has a 3-picture deal with Blumhouse. It was actually really good. It's less than an hour. I think it's only like 53 minutes, and it's all over a Zoom meeting.
I've heard this. I've heard of this.
I'll say this: the movie has a couple jump scares that work extremely well that I didn't see coming at all.
Is it a 2020 release?
Yeah, it's a 2020 release.
Ooh,
like a couple months ago. It's on Shudder. You can probably find it on Amazon. You can probably rent it on Amazon or something. I'm sure it's there. But they have one jump scare at the end, and you'll know because they set it up forever. That was the thing that I didn't like about the movie, and it kind of like dropped my rating down. But there was a couple jump scares in that movie that were really good because it wasn't like your typical jump scare. Like they kind of came out of nowhere. And
I might watch that tonight.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I was just like,
I want to watch that now.
The kind of horror films that like I think are the really kind of scary ones aren't ones that like have jump scares or like are intentionally doing like disturbing things, but like movies that you feel like, oh no, I shouldn't be seeing this. Like this doesn't like it doesn't feel right. Like something doesn't sit. Like that's how I felt when I saw The Witch for the first time, because I was sitting in the theater alone and I was sitting in this corner and I was like, this ain't right. Like this doesn't feel right. I'm not supposed to be watching this movie. But that movie scared me. But like The Babadook is the perfect example of that because from start to finish, it's almost like you're in a box and you can't escape from it with that movie. You're like, I want to keep seeing what's happening, but I do not want to go down the hole. Like I do not want to find out what's happening, and yet you still want to. I love that movie.
Yeah, I need to rewatch it.
I'm excited to watch that movie. I'm gonna watch it in October. So, but yeah, Host, guys, you guys should watch that movie. It's good. It's super quick. Like I said, it's like less than an hour.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna watch that tonight.
Dude, you should. You should.
Oh, yeah. Is it on Amazon, or you said it's on Hulu?
It's on a streaming service called Shudder. You can sign up for like the free 30-day trial or something. I don't know. I have
to check that out.
On Amazon too. I'm sure if you type in Host, you could probably find it like in other options and stuff to watch.
Yeah, looks good.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, Nick's turn. I think, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
So this question is also from Liam. So it's another dark question, Nate. I know how much you love these questions.
No, I'm fine. I just thought it was funny that Liam's questions were like super morbid. I'm like, okay, cool.
So he asks, do you have a movie that you like but disturbed you so much you don't plan on watching them again or watching it again, I guess? Anybody want to? I need to think about this one. But anybody wants, like, because it's a movie that you like. Like, there's movies that are disturbing, like Human Centipede, that I hate, that I will never watch again. But like, it's something that you like, but it's too disturbing that you won't watch it again.
I'm going to say, we've already talked about this, but I'm going to say Hereditary, only because when I watched it, I recognized it as a good film. Like, it was one that I wanted to recommend to people, but then I was like, I was so like disturbed by that I don't want other people to go through that. And so it's not necessarily that, it's like I like it because I recognize it as a good movie. And Toni Collette absolutely snubbed at the Oscars.
Yeah.
Absolutely snubbed. Her performance was amazing. And so I like it enough to be that invested in it and to claim it as probably the scariest movie I've ever seen. I know, Nick, you don't agree, but like, honestly, probably I would call it that at this point in my life. So that would be my answer for sure.
Nick, you go ahead. I got to think about that.
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
I can say another one, probably The Rise of Skywalker, but not because it's disturbing, because it's awful.
Because it's just a terrible movie that no one should ever watch.
Everybody here in the chat, just so you guys know, all three of us hate The Rise of Skywalker, so we won't talk about it because we just don't like it. Yeah. Like, so disturbing that like I like it, but I won't watch again. That's kind of hard for me. I would say, because there's like movies that are uncomfortable, right? Like to watch that are like important, I guess. That's what makes it hard. Like, I'm trying to think of like uncomfortable movies that I've actually liked. You know, because like, for example, like I said, like The Human Centipede, that's a movie that is disturbing, and I hate that movie. Like, there's no artistic merit for that movie. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll say. I was gonna say Saw, but I don't know. I'd probably watch that again, to be honest. I don't know. Jackson, do you have one? I can't even think, man. I can't.
That's the thing, is like I don't get to
Midsommar, maybe.
Which one?
Midsommar, maybe. I don't know. Ari Aster's other
film.
I
don't like that movie though. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would watch that movie again, and I own it. So I think I would, but I don't know. Like, I don't get too disturbed by movies. Like, I don't go like I've never walked out of a movie and gone like, oh man, I don't know if I could watch that again. But I mean, I guess
I have one, Jackson. If you want to.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
All right. So it's not a movie; it's a short film, but it's by Ari Aster. I think Jackson. I don't know if you watched this, but I think I mentioned it last time.
Hey, Chris is here. Sorry.
Hey, what's up, Chris? Sorry, our good friend Film Stocked is here. Great YouTuber. Jackson, do you watch Chris's stuff on YouTube?
I unfortunately don't, but I will definitely check him out.
Yeah, you gotta check him. He's great. He's done a couple collabs with Nate and myself. But anyway, what was the thing? So Ari Aster did this short film called The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. I liked it. I thought it had really good artistic merit, but I would never probably watch it again. It's very disturbing. I think it's way more disturbing than Midsommar or Hereditary, to be honest, especially the subject matter. It deals with a abusive sexual relationship that is that's very taboo. That's what I'll say. I don't want to give anything away, even though you find out like within the first like 5 minutes of the short film. But I guess I'd pick that if I had to choose one thing.
See, but I would watch that again because like I dug it. Like, I just thought it was a really cool way to go about that. Oh man, I'm looking. I just literally Googled like disturbing movies because I don't I don't even.
I'm gonna Google that too, see if I think of it.
I would say because
Yeah.
an option is You Were Never Really Here, the Lynn Ramsey movie from 2017.
Is that
with
the one with
Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, but I wasn't like disturbed by that movie. I just thought I wouldn't watch that movie again because it was.
I
a
have
little too
one,
slow
like
for
another
my
one.
taste.
I have another one, A Clockwork Orange. I didn't even finish that movie. I got like 10 minutes in and I was like, this is not my movie.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm surprised.
joking.
I'm surprised that you even attempted it, man. I
know,
would have told
yeah.
you like, no, steer away.
Yeah.
Steer away.
A lot of it was actually it kind of meant a lot to me because a lot of people reached out to me. I think Chris was one of them too, but a lot of people reached out to me after I posted that on my story saying like I got into it and then just turned it off. And a lot of people were like, yeah, I can't watch that movie either. And so I was like, wow, like I thought I was the only one. So it was pretty cool.
I have a legit one. I have the movie I Spit on Your Grave. I know there's like remakes and stuff. It's kind of like The Last House on the Left. It's very similar to that. Like anything involving like rape or anything, I can't
Yeah.
I can't watch it.
Okay, I do have one. I
just thought of one too, Jackson. Sorry, we're like talking so long. Go ahead, Jackson.
It sounds awful, but you said rape and it like triggered it for me, and that's Wind River. I will never watch that movie again.
Yeah.
Is that the one with Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that one.
Oh, you saw it? Yeah. No, the scene.
Yeah.
You know which scene I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, it wasn't. It was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean you didn't see like the whole thing, but
I didn't see it. It was probably filtered out completely, honestly. But
yeah, no, it was
like it's a disturbing like subject matter. But dude, Eyes Without a Face is another one that I probably will never watch again.
But I love that movie. I would totally rewatch it. It's such a good Halloween movie.
And dude, I don't know, like The Vanishing, is that what it's called?
That's a good. That's a good
that's
pick.
Hard. I don't know if I can watch that one again.
I would watch it with somebody else. I wouldn't watch it again by myself. I'd watch it with somebody else because I want to see their reaction to the ending. Because the ending
I hate that ending.
But what was your like reaction? Because mine was totally like, no, like that.
No, it was exactly that. Sorry, Nick. You have to watch this for your October video, Nick. But I watched it with my cousin Jasmine, and it was just like it was an ending that happened, and like I was just like, no. And then like afterwards for days I was thinking, oh my gosh, I hated like that ending. And in fact, that's probably my answer for like the that's probably my answer over Hereditary, because I actually really did like The Vanishing, but I don't know when I'll ever see it again.
What did your cousin Jasmine say?
So, okay, before we watched it, she knew the spoiler, because what happened was it has no rating, and we wanted to make sure it wasn't like an R-rated crazy movie. So I was like, Jasmine, like, she doesn't care about spoilers. So I was like, can you look up why it's like a scary movie? And so she looked it up and she saw a spoiler. And she was like, it's not that bad. And then we saw it and I was like, what the heck? This is like crazy. But like, I can
not
see
that bad.
I can see where she's coming from, because it's like, it's not like gory or anything, but it's just like, it sticks with you.
Oh no, I cannot stop. Ever since I've seen that movie, I cannot stop thinking about that ending. I also think about other things in that movie. Like, I won't spoil a single thing for you, Nick.
The motives of the guy who kidnaps the girl, like, you know who he is and everything. It's not a spoiler who he is. But the motives of it's a crazy movie.
Yeah, no, why? Like how and why?
It's crazy. Yeah,
you're like, this guy is so genius, but so insane.
Yeah, no, The Vanishing is definitely my answer. Really quickly, Chris, I like his answer. He said Spotlight. Okay, yeah, you put it. Spotlight is a movie that I think I could watch Spotlight again, but I definitely see where you're coming from, because it's a very sensitive subject matter. It's like, it's a heavy movie.
That's a great movie.
That's actually one of my favorite. I don't talk about Spotlight a lot, but that's actually one of my favorite Best Picture winners.
Yeah, that's such a great movie. I remember I saw it in the theater with Jack randomly one night. I was just like, hey, I heard this is supposed to be a really great movie. We should go see it. We walk out. He looks at me. He's like, man, I got to be honest. I was going to fall asleep a couple of times. I was like, I don't know what's wrong with you. I was invigorated the entire movie.
Silent Night scene, when they're singing Silent Night, I was like, bruh.
Yeah. And it's just so realistic. Like, these are real people, and it's oh yeah, but that is a good point. Yeah, it is a hard movie to watch for sure.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, your turn.
Okay. Sorry guys, for those of you who are just joining the chat, Nicholas asked the question to you, Jackson. But for those of you just joining the chat, we're still doing some Instagram questions because last time we missed out on a lot of them. So our next Instagram question that I want to ask.
How do I answer that?
You can, if you're on YouTube itself, you can @ Nicholas and then respond to him.
Okay. Let me pull up the live stream. Then I won't let it.
Jackson doesn't watch my videos, okay?
What?
I'm not pulling up the live stream to get the echo, I promise.
No.
Well, if you do, it's okay. Accidents happen, my friend. Okay, guys. Okay, pick between these two. No, actually, I want to do those two. And okay, right now let's do favorite A24 film.
Okay, I can go first.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot. I have a couple, I guess, because we talked a little bit about it before we went on. Like we texted each other about certain questions that we wanted to talk about. This was one of them. For me, I would say The Lighthouse is definitely up there. I don't know if it's my favorite. Uncut Gems is amazing. That actually, it's hard because like The Lighthouse, there's days where I love that movie a little bit more, and then there's days where I'm like, no, Uncut Gems is way better.
Mm-hmm.
I like Eighth Grade a lot. Directed by Bo Burnham, which was amazing because like I love Bo Burnham's comedy, and the fact that he directed and wrote that movie, like I was pretty amazed.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see more that he does. And The Farewell is fantastic.
So I agree with that one. Yeah,
my 4 picks, I guess, and I don't really know.
It's hard to choose just one.
Yeah, because A24 is such a great company.
Yeah, all of us, when we were texting about this earlier, all of us had several movies to talk about. It wasn't just, it's just this one and done. Like we all talked about several movies. I would agree. Out of the ones you mentioned, Nick, I would say I agree with what was The Farewell. One I saw recently, Good Time. I actually liked that movie a lot too.
That's good too, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I liked that one. If I like had to choose just one, I would say Lady Bird, which is a movie that has grown on me. I saw it for the first time, and Jackson knows this. I've given it grief. I literally, in one of my Criterion videos, I call it the most forgettable film of 2017. And I own up to that. I freaking own up to that. But I saw it again for Decade in Review series I did, and I don't know what it was. Completely changed my mind. I love that film now. And it's seriously the reason that Saoirse Ronan is one of my favorite actresses working today. But another one I want to give kudos to, Nicholas commented and said Hereditary and End of Tour. I haven't seen End of Tour. Hereditary is just so disturbing. So I don't know. If Nicholas, if you missed our earlier chat, we were talking about that a little bit. But another one I want to bring up is Boys State, which is a documentary that came out on Apple TV. And I don't know why, but that movie was just so fascinating to me, seeing a bunch of teenage boys in this conference where it's all about talking. It's all of them talking about politics, and all of them, like, it's Texas. A lot of them are conservatives, but there are a few that aren't conservative party. And it's kind of funny. It's just like, it's funny seeing the dynamic of all these conservatives with these few that aren't conservatives and them like clashing. And also there's elections that go on. And although it's a documentary, you start rooting for this main character. His name's Steven, and you start rooting for him, and you really start kind of like getting on his side with things. And it's currently my number 1 of the year. So if you guys haven't seen Boys State, highly recommend it.
Yeah, I still need to watch it.
I definitely still need to watch it. My favorite A24 movie is hands down Uncut Gems, because I think that's one of the best movies ever. Because I mean, I could talk about the movie for the rest of the live stream, honestly, but I won't. I love Adam Sandler's performance. I think that's the biggest Oscar snub, other than Social Network for Best Picture of the 2010s, is Adam Sandler for Best Actor.
That's actually we can hold on to that because one of the questions I was going to ask is biggest Oscar snub, so we can go to that next. But keep going.
But I was also going to say, it's not even just his performance. Like, the plot is really good. It keeps going, and like it goes in the direction you know it's going to go in, but it keeps getting even worse than you expect it to. That's what I love about that movie. But obviously the ending, the last like 30 minutes, I think that's just the best film of last year, hands down, is the last 30 minutes of Uncut Gems. So and then I also love Lady Bird, like Nate said. I love Lady Bird, but I love Eighth Grade, and Ex Machina is super great.
Jackson, we call that one like a full-length Black Mirror episode, didn't we? Or
that's Black totally Mirror. How I describe it.
It's such a Black Mirror episode. If you guys have seen Ex Machina, you know what we're talking about. It just feels Black Mirror.
I love that movie. I love the first half of that movie even more than the second half, and that says a lot because the second half is where the plot really
very mysterious, isn't it? From what I remember.
Yeah,
It's
the first half is like you're trying to figure out, wait, who am I supposed to be rooting for here? And then the twist happens. And then things
John
get out of hand.
Gleason too, man. I love that guy. He's actually like one of my favorite actors today. Yeah.
I love that guy. I also really like Moonlight. I love Moonlight.
That was a comment. That's in the comments.
Peter said Moonlight equals favorite A24.
It's not my favorite. It's really good though. I really like The Lighthouse a lot. You know what a really underrated A24 movie is? I know you wouldn't like it, Nate, but it is still a great movie. It's Green Room.
Oh yeah, I've heard that movie's pretty explicit.
Oh, it's you talk about a gruesome movie. You know what? I'm gonna change my comment. I'm never watching that movie again.
There we go. We got an answer.
There it is. Okay, let me explain why. And this, I'm not trying to gross you guys out and disturb you, but let me paint the picture because it's better than watching it.
I'm all ears.
So they get locked in the green room because that's the plot of the movie, and Patrick Stewart is the leader of these neo-Nazis group.
I'm sorry, did you say Patrick Stewart?
Yes, Patrick Stewart.
I'm sure I heard you right.
He's the villain in this movie. He leads a group of them because the plot of the movie is this band, they're a punk band, they go to this really obscure bar, like venue place, they play a show, and they see a murder in the green room that they weren't supposed to see. And so the neo-Nazis are like, okay, stay here and we'll go figure this out and we'll let you guys go. We'll figure out what to tell you. And so when they're figuring that out, they all get locked in with the guy who killed the other person, and they kill him. And so it's this standoff. And they're like, okay, we have a phone in here. We're going to call the police. And they're like, yeah, well, we have guns out here, so we'll kill you. And Anton Yelchin's character is like, hey, how about we just do an exchange? You give us the gun, we'll give you the phone. And they're like, okay, that's fair. So he goes to the door. He takes, starts handing it out. They grab his hand. They're holding it. You just see his hand just outside the door. And you hear this sound, and you don't know what it is. They pull him back in. His arm's just like hanging off his wrist.
What the actual
they just try cutting off his hand. And I was just like, nope. And then they duct tape it back on. That's even worse. That's the worst part of it, is they duct tape it back on.
You know what? Now that you just said that, I haven't seen that movie, but any Eli Roth film. That's my answer. Cabin in the Woods.
No, he didn't do Cabin in the Woods. That he did Cabin Fever.
Cabin Fever. Thank you. That's
Cabin in the Woods is an amazing movie.
Yeah, Cabin in the Woods is great. I meant Cabin Fever. And then also, what's the one that he did with the cannibals in like Peru? What's that one called again?
The Sixth Sense.
No. Or something like that. That movie I will never watch ever again. And I don't even really like that movie, but like Cabin Fever, I actually do like that movie, but no. There's a lot of stuff in there that like, and I could take blood, but like, no, I draw a lot at certain things,
Nice. Do you want to go to the Oscar snub question?
Sure, why not?
So are we talking Oscar nomination snubs or Oscar win snubs?
Let's do both.
Yeah, we should do both. Can I do nomination?
What?
Can I start with nomination?
Go ahead.
My boy Timmy Chalamet, my man crush Monday every Monday. For Boy. Should have been nominated and he should have won. I'm sorry to say it, but his performance was amazing.
Should have beat Rami Malek in Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, it would have been supporting, so he should have beaten Ali in Green Book. And I love Mahershala Ali's performance.
Oh yeah,
I do, but Timmy is like, I can call him Timmy, because he's the love of my life. Timmy, Chalamet. Like the thing is, I think he's one of the most underrated and underappreciated actors working today in Hollywood. I really don't think he gets enough credit. And I know that, he's going to be in Dune, and I know that, girls love him and stuff. But I think he's just underappreciated.
I think equally amount of guys love him as girls.
Yeah, Jackson, he's mine. Just FYI.
Sorry. After I saw "Call Me by Your Name," I think I should pull up that text, Nate, because I think I texted the group after I watched that movie and was like, I don't know who this guy is, this main guy, but I'm gonna keep an eye out for him.
Yeah, you probably did. I just think his best performance is Interstellar. The way he talks about the flat tire is amazing.
I just love the way Matthew McConaughey says, "The truck's yours."
That's
I love when they start driving. He's like, "What about the tire?" I was like, "This kid's going places."
Murphy's Law.
Yeah, Murphy's Law. He's like a jerk to Murphy. He's like teasing her. She's like, "Shut up," or whatever. What's his name again? I don't remember his name.
It's like Christopher Nolan trying to show kids being kids, and it totally doesn't work. It's like no sibling dynamic is ever like that.
It's Tom, isn't it? Shut up, Tom, or something like that.
Yeah, his name's Tom.
The dust.
The dust. It's like, sorry, what was that, kid? Okay, guys. There's a scene in Interstellar. It's Tom's son. He starts coughing, and he's like, "Dust." He says the dust so fast. It's like, who hired this kid?
I thought you were exaggerating when you told me that. And I literally pull it up and I watch it and I was like, no way. There's no way he said it that quickly and they let that be the take.
Yeah, and it definitely is the case. He's like, the dust. It's like, okay, I think
right here. Beautiful boy, best performance. Thank you.
No.
How about you, hey, Nick, how about you show the other comment from Peter?
No, because he's sending falsehoods and lies.
I kind of agree with Peter. I think he's a good actor, but I don't think he's like, I don't know. Like, I think Saoirse Ronan.
Let's see Call Me By Your Name, or have you?
I've seen Call Me By Your Name.
Oh.
Yeah, me too.
He was good in Call Me By Your Name, especially the final, like, long shot where he's
yeah. I mean, that's the scene that got him nominated for sure.
Yeah. He's great in Call Me By Your Name, but I just think, like, I don't know. He's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I just think he's good. He's fine. But I think, okay, if we're talking about nomination snubs, it's funny because I was literally thinking about this today as I was making my lunch. I don't know why I thought about this, but I will forever stand by Andrew Garfield not being nominated for Best Supporting Actor for The Social Network. Yeah. This is what I was thinking today. I was like, how did the Academy watch that movie and not nominate him? Because he was so good. And I haven't looked into like the supporting actors of 2010, but I can't imagine anyone. I can't imagine him at least not being nominated. Like, it was a winning performance and he wasn't even nominated.
Yeah, that was the year that Christian Bale won for The Fighter, so he wouldn't know. Like, Andrew Garfield had no chance.
That's true. I haven't seen The Fighter all the way through, but of what I have seen, Christian Bale is phenomenal. So that's true. Thank you for reminding me of that. But he deserved to at least be nominated.
I agree. Definitely. Because, like, that scene where he confronts Mark in the office and slams his laptop down, like, that's the best scene in the movie.
No, I've looked that scene up on YouTube countless times. I seriously cannot put a number to it. And it's funny, if you look up YouTube videos, The Social Network, it's a video clip called The Best Scene Out of a Social Network. It's that clip.
Yep.
It's just that is the best scene. And the music starts, the score starts, dun dun dun.
Oh, I love when he like threatens to punch Justin Timberlake and he's like, I like standing next to
you, Sean. Makes me like
tough. Honestly, I was literally just like dying right there. No, you guys were talking about
we're just talking about Andrew Garfield. Nick is dying.
my favorite scene of that movie, I think, is the one that you guys were just talking about, where he gets fired and then he goes over to Mark Zuckerberg's desk and he talks about the FU flip flops and stuff. That was awesome. That is like my favorite scene in the entire movie.
Yeah, sorry, my Prada was at the
my Prada was at the dry cleaners or something.
Along with my FU flip flops.
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a good line.
It's so good when it's going through it. It's like, and how much were Mr. Zuckerberg's shares diluted down to? They weren't. How much were Sean's shares diluted down to? They weren't. How much were Eduardo's shares diluted down to? 0.03%. And then it just dun dun dun. You're like, bro.
I love the scene in The Social Network where they're like, I think they're in the conference room and they're talking, and he's like, what is it when they're talking about?
Like, you have my minimum attention, or is it
that
like,
seems great, but
is it like if you wanted to invent Facebook, you would have invented Facebook, or is it?
That's a great scene. No, but the one where where they're talking about the chicken.
I love the chicken.
He's like, you really told them about the chicken? You really like when he first brings it up, not when the scene that we've been talking about, because he does bring that up again. Because Sean's like, "I'm sorry, what's the chicken?"
He's like, "I'm sorry, what the H is the chicken?"
Yeah, Justin Timberlake, super underappreciated in that movie. Really good.
Oh my gosh, I love that movie. Seriously, top 15 of all time. I love this.
One of
Sorry,
the best movies
we could,
made.
like Uncut Gems and you, Jackson. I could spend the rest of the stream talking about Social Network. Jackson, give us a Oscar snub nomination.
I already know what he's going to say.
Oh yeah, no, you guys already know it's Adam Sandler for Uncut Gems.
Okay, cool.
Because that would have been my second choice, but I knew you were going to say that.
That's just that's the reason I didn't watch the Oscars last year. I'm going to be completely honest. I was that mad about it. Like I've never been more passionate about somebody getting a nomination in my life. Yeah. I wanted him to get nominated so bad. And it's not because I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. I'm not. I'm one of the last people to defend him. But him as a dramatic actor, people are like, if he hadn't made those crappy Netflix movies, he might have had a shot. And it's like, no, he should have had just as a fair competition because he gave one of the best performances of last year. Yeah. Did that adequately answer your condescending question?
I love that. I love that line. It shouldn't be based on their filmography. It should be based on their performance.
No, and that's why
exactly.
Like the whole Glenn Close debate when she lost, like everyone was like, "Oh, it was her time. Like she deserved to win." I didn't watch that movie, so I don't know.
She's good in it. I haven't seen The Favorite, so I can't compare. But she's good in The Wife.
But the thing is like when it comes to Adam Sandler, look, like I wanted him to be nominated too, and I was still really upset about it. I remember, I think Jackson, after you watched it, I think we talked on the phone about how we wanted him to get, and then he didn't get nominated. And we were both like super upset about it, and. One other thing that's interesting, though, is like when it comes to his Netflix films, I just kind of like smiled. Have you guys seen the trailer for his new Netflix movie?
It looks so
like Adam Sandler. I haven't seen it.
Terrible.
It looks awful. And the joke is.
No, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say there's a funny thing that Adam Sandler, before Oscar nominations came out, he like made a headline saying, "I promise, I vow to make the worst movie ever made if you don't nominate me for an Oscar." And then somebody retweeted the trailer, and they're like, "Guys, he kept his word."
It looks bad. It looks
bad.
Really, honestly, like, and look, he's made like some really terrible movies, like Jack and Jill. I don't think I could ever like fully forgive him for that atrocity, but I think it's even worse. Like, I will not waste my time watching this film. I'm telling you that. It's called like Hubie Halloween or something.
Oh, it looks bad.
It looks really bad.
I will say the trailer did get me with one joke, and it's just because of how absurd it is. And it's when they're showing the montage of him running into the police chief's office. The plot is he's like a boy who cried wolf, and he thinks he sees things, but he runs in and he's like, the grocery market's selling over extended bacon or over expired bacon. I'm just like, what? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But it's so disappointing because he can make good comedies. Like you look at his 90s movies, you look at a couple of his like early 2000s comedies. They're not like the worst things. They're fun.
Billy Madison's phenomenal. I love that movie.
I like Billy Madison a lot. Any of his 90s comedies, I don't think they're the worst thing ever. They're obviously not as bad as his newer movies, but they're like comfort movies for me. They're just like, oh, I grew up with these. They're fun. So
yeah, I just think I really hope that once his Netflix deal is done, that he's just going to stick to drama. Like honestly, like I love Adam Sandler. I think he's a funny guy, but like he's better than whatever the heck that dumb movie coming out next month is. Like,
do we want to just move on to the next question?
Yeah, we can move on because we've been kind of talking about this question for a while. And I think we talked about Oscar subs last time, like for like when
we talked for a bit.
Yeah. Are there any other Instagram ones you want to share? I have one more, but we could all answer with one quick response.
Yeah, let's do that, and then we can move on to like live questions.
Okay, so favorite director. I'll go first. Alfred Hitchcock.
Oh, it's Stanley Kubrick, just hands down, easily.
Mine's hands down easy.
This guy loves Kubrick, though.
I will say Nolan, Tarantino, Ho, and I'll go classic. It's got to be Kubrick as well.
Okay, I missed that.
I will put it like this though, Nate. I will say for Hitchcock, he is the master. Like I will like if we could put it like this, If there was a king of film, it'd be Hitchcock. If there's a prince, it'd be Kubrick. Because like Hitchcock set the standard for films until Kubrick came in, and now Kubrick set the standards for modern films.
Yeah, I could go. I want to make a video someday about my top 10 directors of all time, but Hitchcock has got to be my favorite. I do like Kubrick films though. There's just some I really don't care for, to be honest. So it's just not.
You gotta watch 2001 again.
What was that?
You gotta watch 2001 again. You gotta.
I do. No, I definitely recognize that. Yeah, I definitely have to. Kubrick is just a director where I like some of his films, and then the ones I don't like, I don't like. Like it's just hard. Whereas I think your favorite director should be a director where you, for the most part, like every single movie from them, and Kubrick isn't that way for me. But
let's we can move on to some.
Yeah, let's do it.
So here's one. This one's just kind of fun. I agree with this. Hey everyone, Jackson looks even slimmer than last.
Come on, what are we doing? Oh, okay. I will tell you my secret. Here's the secret to looking slimmer. You take
take one down, pass it around.
I love this. Friggin' Jackson, dude.
Screwing up, and that's the secret. If you take that with you to your grave, you will have wisdom.
Oh, I hope you got all that, John. Let's see. Next
John.
Avatar or Titanic?
Just one word.
Titanic. This isn't an argument.
Yeah, Titanic. One word responses. Titanic.
Yeah, I'll say Titanic too, even though I don't like. I'm not a big fan of either film, but I will say Titanic.
What? You don't like Titanic?
It's not that I don't like it. I just think it's overrated.
What are you, 8th grade Jackson? Just kidding.
I used to not like that movie.
Yeah, I know. I remember your 24-hour movie marathon with Nate that you did, where you talked about.
Oh, that's right. We watched it for that. Yeah, that was the turning point of that movie for me. Was watching it with those guys.
Really quickly.
Oh yeah.
Really quickly. Sorry, Movie Geek. Bernardo. Steven Spielberg is like my number 2 director, so I respect that comment. Anyways, keep going.
Yeah. So Mr. Sushi 22 favorite streaming services. Me.
Criterion Channel.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
I don't have Criterion Channel, but I
get it.
Get on it.
What'd you say? I need to get on it. All right.
Yeah,
well,
absolutely. Yeah.
Look into it. I would say Netflix is. I mean, obviously one of them. Disney Plus is great because Mandalorian, and I guess that's it. I don't know. Shutter's too.
Yeah. If you're going for nostalgia, Disney Plus wins, I think. Netflix is really under the gun right now with the new Cuties movie. But even without even without Cuties existing, Netflix has always been a streaming service where I only think their movies are good when Oscar season comes around, and that's because they're having amazing directors make them. And so I would lean more towards HBO Max, Criterion Channel, or Disney Plus. Probably.
Yeah, HBO Max is good too.
HBO Max is great.
Let's see. Jeff, how's it going, Jeff? Good to see you. You guys are so interested in movies. Do you ever read film criticism, like, for instance, books by Pauline Kael or Francois Truffaut?
He's grabbing the book.
I'm grabbing a book.
He's grabbing it. Wait. Hey, since you're doing that.
I don't have any books, but I do want to read some stuff from Francois Truffaut for sure.
Yeah. Well, so I have seen the documentary of Francois or Truffaut and Hitchcock and Truffaut. Sorry. I've seen the documentary. I know there's a book, and I really want to read the book. But I do own, I don't know if you can hear this, Jackson, but it's okay. I do own the book, Alfred Hitchcock, A Life in Darkness, Light, and I got it really, and I'm a senior in college, so I don't know when I'll get to this complete book. But just the pictures they've included, I'm so excited to get more into Hitchcock's life. And I know that this book has already referenced Hitchcock and Truffaut. And I've listened to a lot of the interviews, like Kino Lorber. All their special features are interviews between Hitchcock and Truffaut. And so I've heard like the behind the scenes stuff. I just need to read the actual book. But this is like the only, I have another Hitchcock book at home. And then Jackson gave me a film study book that I was supposed to get back to him, and I never did. I'm keeping that.
No, I think I just told you straight up one time, because here's what it was. This is what it was. I go over to your house because I gave it to you very early on when we first met
in our friendship. Yeah.
And so I think I went to your house like maybe 6-7 months later, and I saw it on like a stool, and I was just like, oh, hey, I gave that to you. And you're like, oh, yeah, I've been meaning to read that. And I was just like, oh, no rush, dude. You can have it.
Yeah. The cover is like Vertigo in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Yeah. Oh, dude. So I got it mixed up. I put a container of all my like books that I don't read all the time. I put it out in the shed, but it has like my film theory and criticism, like 4th edition of a film class, and then this other one, The Social Network, is the cover, and it's called The Film Experience, and it's about editing. So
Nice.
Yeah, I want to get more into them because I want to make films. Like I'm working on a short film right now, and I'd love to make or I'd love to read some material on how to do certain things and all that stuff. Mr. Sushi. Hey, check out the Criterion channel, as if you don't already know what that is.
Yeah, dude, I'm on the Criterion channel. Thanks to Jackson.
Oh, I like this comment. I don't know how to make it go up, but
I don't think we have access, Jackson.
Oh, okay. But it's Bernardo's, and it says on top of that, the film has to have Adam's friend in it. That's very true. You bring up a good point. It feels like all of his movies are just like, hey, I'm gonna get all of my friends, and we're just gonna make a movie. It feels like me at 12. Hey, you guys want to make a movie? But these are 50, maybe even like 60-year-old professional actors doing it. So
yeah.
Let's see. This one's specifically for me, but you guys can answer too. Nick, have you ever watched the original Last House on the Left? It was Wes Craven's first film, and a song from the soundtrack was referenced in The Hateful Eight. I've seen the remake. I've not seen the original, though.
Is the remake Jennifer Lawrence? I've seen the Jennifer. Maybe that's a different movie.
Oh, that's the Last House on the Left, the one that you're thinking of.
Isn't that what he said?
No, that's House at the End of the Street.
House at the End of the Street
is the one.
Okay, yeah, no,
that movie is terrible.
Yeah, it's awful.
My brother's actually my sister.
Yeah, what the actual heck is wrong?
Have you seen that movie, Jackson? Last House on the Left?
I haven't seen either the original or the remake. I know it is Wes Craven's first movie, but it feels okay. We keep going back to that disturbing movie question, but it reminds me too much of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that movie just straight up does not sit well with me. I don't like that movie, so I probably won't ever watch this movie.
It reminds me of like I Spit on Your Grave. I think it's like the same subject matter essentially. Let's see. I'm looking for, if you guys find questions that you guys like, let me know.
The third man question I responded to in the chat, I spoke for Jackson, but I think I'm safe to speak for Jackson. I just said, Jackson, I love it. Nick hasn't seen it. Nick, you haven't seen that, right?
No.
Okay, just making sure I'm not assuming.
Here's one from Chris I really like.
Cool.
So, our good friend Chris Bowie. Favorite Broadway musical if you're into that. Haha. Yes. I know what yours is. It's I'm talking to Chris specifically. I know it's Hamilton. I really like Hamilton, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to say Grease, man. I love Grease. In high school, I played the part of Kaneki in our high school production of Grease, and Kaneki's my favorite character.
True. Nick has shown me videos of him acting out as Kaneki, so it's true.
That's dope.
And then I got to sing Grease Lightning on top of a car, and I air humped. It was great.
I saw that.
Yeah, Nate saw it, and
I wish I had seen that.
Oh, Jackson, you seen it? Yeah.
I saw you in drag, and I gotta say, you look good, my friend.
Oh yeah, you did. I posted that. So anybody who wants to go watch that, you can go to my Instagram.
Yeah,
just click on the latest post.
But
yeah, Jackson and I were in the Cinderella play in high school. Anyways, Nick, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Grease, and I love the movie adaptation of Grease. I think it's a really good adaptation. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I'd have to go with Grease. I love the music, and it's just like I can literally put on that soundtrack like any day of the week and just, blast it and have a great time. What about you guys?
The only ones I have seen in person are Phantom of the Opera, and then Jackson and I saw Cinderella in Phoenix, which had the main actress from The Nanny. That's the
Fran Drescher.
Yeah,
Really?
that was like cool. We've seen her in real life, but oh, and then I've seen like Frozen on Broadway and like Disneyland or something and Aladdin and stuff. But like, it's hard because all those are good. And I've seen Hamilton on Disney Plus. All those are good. If I had to choose one, I'd probably say Hamilton, but I haven't seen The Lion King yet. And that's like on the top of my bucket list. And so I can't really answer that question until I've seen The Lion King because I really want to see that.
Jackson?
I know that's considered like one of the best too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just, it's funny because like I act in musicals, but I don't ever watch them. Like I don't
Yeah.
watch musicals. But you know, it is biased for me, but I think this is the best musical, and that's My Fair Lady.
That's
Like
good.
I love My Fair Lady.
yeah, like I love like because I played Higgins, but I didn't watch
Poor
the movie.
Professor Higgins.
I remember, dude, all throughout high school, I never understood that reference. And I was just like, you keep doing it, Nate. You keep doing it.
Yeah, throughout high school, I would always say, poor Professor Higgins. And I didn't know that you didn't get the reference. That's even funnier.
Yeah, no, I never got it. I was just like, oh, this guy,
And then when you got the part,
the name you had made up. Like,
I
I thought it was honestly a name that you made up. And so whenever I get the script for My Fair Lady and they're like, yeah, you want to read for Higgins? And I was like, wait, I've heard that name before. And they're like, yeah, it's Professor Higgins,
like
the most famous character in musical history. And I was just like,
it was like a reveal moment where Dory remembers who Nemo is, and it's like, where do you want to be? Wait, like it's like you're like Professor Higgins.
It was like a That's So Raven, like,
yeah, look at the camera, it goes into your eyes.
yeah, but it's just I think it has the best story, even though it's been remade countless times. I think it's the most timeless musical because you can watch that anytime and it'll still be relevant.
Yeah. McWilliams 64. Have you seen Cutting Moments? I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna guess none of us have seen that.
No, I don't even know what that is.
Yeah. Nate?
No, have no idea what that is. I've cut video cuts in editing Final Cut Pro.
Oh, here's
I've seen myself cut meat when I'm cooking. But
yeah. All right, this is a really good question, actually. John the Voice, what do you guys think of the new remake trailer of Rebecca?
I responded to that in the chat.
I hated it.
Thank you. I did too.
It looks awful. Yeah.
I think it looks terrible.
I will watch it because it's a remake of a classic film. But number one, why do you get Lily Collins? She's great to look at, but she's not a great actress. Like,
Lily James.
No, I thought it was Lily Collins.
James. Yeah,
no,
I
like
like
James.
Lily James.
Oh, I like Lily James. I thought it was Lily Collins for some reason. I don't know why. I need to watch the trailer again.
Watch the trailer, Nick.
Trailer. I thought it was Lily Collins.
Are we talking about that Batman fan-made trailer?
Watch the trailer for Mirror Mirror on accident.
No, but I thought it looked awful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show it some. I'm gonna be optimistic about it. I responded to this in the chat. I said it definitely looks more sexual and it feels more 50 Shades of Grey. Not that it is 50 Shades of Grey, but it looks like it felt like a 50 Shades of Grey trailer. And like I've seen the original Rebecca 2 times. I haven't read the book, but it definitely looks more sexual than the original. But I do really want to see it just because Hitchcock, and I do want to read the book someday. So I'll definitely be watching it.
You know what's funny? I think I was thinking of Lily Collins from when we watched the fan-made Batman trailer for some reason.
Oh yeah,
about that.
I just didn't like that because when I saw Rebecca, I didn't know the plot of it, so I didn't know that it unfolded itself the whole movie. And then when it finally got to the twist, it was like, oh, that's cool. That's a great twist. And in this trailer, they literally hint at every little thing. And the stupidest thing is that they suggest that the ghost of Rebecca is haunting the house. That's the whole thing about Rebecca, is that it's an eerie movie because you're wondering, is this woman watching me or am I just going crazy? And so to show the ghost of her, that's the stupidest thing to do when you're trying to play your audience like a main character. So I hated it. I mean, I'm going to give it a chance because it looks like, because the director did that movie. Yeah, it's Netflix. It's got Armie Hammer. I like Lily James, and I think Kristen Scott Thomas is perfect for that role.
She's a good casting choice for that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
I can't remember. Is she like the lead maid or something of the house, the head maid?
Yeah,
or
she's
something?
like the head.
Okay, I've seen the movie twice, but even the second time, it's been 2 years since I rewatched it.
She's the best character. She's hands down
very intimidating. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, I'll give it a chance as well. But I'm just gonna say from an initial trailer, I hated it. I thought it looked terrible.
Yeah, me too.
Jonathan Mills, what is your favorite Keanu Reeves movie? Mine is Matrix. I love this question. I'm gonna go with John Wick. Even though it's like more recent, like that or Bill and Ted. I mean, give me those movies. All the Bill and Ted movies. Even though Nate hasn't watched them, but
I've seen the first one.
Oh, was it Jackson who hadn't seen them?
Yeah, it's Jackson.
I haven't seen any of them, and I still need to.
I thought you were gonna go see Face the Music, Jackson.
I was, but I didn't. I just never watched the first two. I thought I was going to. I was like, I'm finally gonna do it. I'm gonna go see this movie. But then I was like, I don't really have the energy. I will watch them though. I know they're really good, so I do need to see them. But my favorite Keanu Reeves, that's tough because there's a lot that I do. I love Always Be My Maybe, but that's just a cameo.
I hated that movie.
I loved that movie. I thought it was really good.
I know, that was my least favorite of 2019. I'm pretty sure.
Over Cats?
I haven't seen Cats.
You are missing out.
Cameron?
No, I'm joking.
Ricky Gervais
I'm looking for
comments on Judy Dench Cats.
That's
okay,
the funniest. I have that clip saved to my phone because that's the funniest part of the
almost
monologue.
doesn't say, he's like, I can't say this next one, and then he says. Anyways,
I really like the movie with what is it? Is it Parenthood with Steve Martin? Yeah, he's the daughter's boyfriend. He's the stoner kid. I don't know because I mean I don't want to say The Matrix because that's just I mean what other movie am I going to say that I mean I haven't seen Bill and Ted. I do love The Matrix. I think it's a fantastic movie. But okay, I will say I'll go one up from you, Nick. I'll say John Wick Chapter 2 because I think Chapter 2 is the best of the trilogy.
Yeah. They're all great. I think all three.
Oh yeah, but Chapter 2, the opening action scene is just amazing. When he hits that dude, when he whips the taxi and he nails that dude and he goes flying, I always laugh. It's the funniest thing. Willology, you're wrong.
What was that?
The comment Willology left. You're wrong.
Oh, let me see. Unpopular opinion, Keanu Reeves can't act. Yeah, fair enough.
You just look at your profile picture. I think we know where you stand.
Gosh, dude.
He looks so happy.
Great in that picture, man.
But he doesn't think Keanu Reeves can act. So we know what you're about.
He's kind of doing the Scott face. For those who don't know the Scott face,
he looks mischievous. He's like, I got you.
Yeah. The Scott face is kind of like, it's like that's the Scott face.
I will kind of agree with him. But the reason why you watch a Keanu Reeves movie is because Keanu Reeves has one of the best personalities in Hollywood, like hands down.
He's a good guy.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't care much for the John Wick trilogy. Sue me. I probably think the first or third is the best, but I'll say The Matrix.
Boring choice.
That's one.
I know.
I mean, it's true though. I gotta get Nate.
Building Toy Story 4.
Why didn't you say Knock Knock, Nate?
Never even heard of that movie.
That's the movie that introduced the world to Ana de Armas. So
yeah, it is. Yep, it is, and I'm sure Ben Affleck is really happy about that. Okay, here we go.
That means
this is a good one. Noah Lasher. Hey guys, glad this is happening again. Me too. What are your guys' favorite war movies? Who wants to start?
I can start.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna say mainstream Dunkirk and Saving Private Ryan.
Good choice.
Not mainstream, underrated films. I'm going to say The Bridge from 1959. It's a Criterion, directed by a man named Bernhard Wicki, and it is about a bunch of boys living in Germany at the end of World War II, and they are teenagers in school. They're called upon to defend their city, and it's just a very sad movie, and it's based on true events too, so it makes it even worse because of that. But it's on the Criterion Collection. You all should check it out. It's on the Criterion channel too, if I'm not mistaken. But underrated. That's my favorite.
I need to see it. You've been telling me about it ever since you watched it, so I definitely need to see it.
Good. It's so good.
What's that one called again, Nate?
The Bridge. And it's so underrated that if you look it up on IMDb, you have to like scroll down a little bit before actually finding it. It's from 1959.
Like, yeah,
it's just not like 6,000 user ratings. It's not too much.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's so
like that's low.
Yeah. It's a good movie.
You go ahead, Nick.
I really like Nate's choices. I'll go Saving Private Ryan. I do love 1917. I mean, I know.
Oh yeah, I love 1917 too.
But like, that's such a good war movie. Dunkirk is definitely up there for me. I don't know. War movies are kind of weird because like I love war movies, but at the same time, like I also don't love them because there's so many of them, you know. And it's kind of like a very.
I love the war genre. I love that genre.
I do too, but I feel like it's kind of an overplayed genre at this point. It's like I want to see something different. Like that's why I like 1917 because it's something very different. I'm trying to think of like ones that people haven't heard of that are good. Bridge on the River Kwai is fantastic. I would consider
I love that movie.
I know a lot of people don't consider it that, but I do. And just
Nate, you would actually really love that movie.
Yeah, I know I need to see it. I just haven't.
Oh, Nate, I have it.
It's all about breaking the spirit and how you can't.
Yeah. And then
Is that a Best Picture winner?
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. It won. It had Guinness in it too.
And I'll definitely be seeing it someday. I have a bucket list item to see all Best Picture winners. So yeah, I'll be to it.
I own it, Nate. So you should come over and watch it. That could be a movie that we watch.
It's like 3 hours long, but it's good.
Yeah, dude,
I asked the question does Forrest Gump count? But obviously it doesn't. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'd say Bridge on the River Kwai is one of the underrated ones that people don't talk enough about. I feel, even though it's a Best Picture winner. Yeah, I guess those ones. Jackson.
Yeah, I like those choices. Those are all really good. I'm gonna say my favorite. I just watched this recently, but it had such an effect on me. It's The Thin Red Line.
Yeah, I've seen a few comments with that answer.
Dude, I mean, I'm not joking. There's a shot. I won't spoil what happens because it kind of spoils what happens, but there's a tracking shot of them running into the battlefield, and it is the most exhilarated I've ever felt watching a war movie. I was like, oh no, this is like real. This is about to happen. And it's just, but I think the thing that got me with that movie is it is philosophical because it's Terrence Malick, so it does answer like it. I was like ask the questions of like, why are we in war, and you know, do we really need to kill? And I mean, it asks the questions anybody would ask if they're in war, but it's just so powerful because each of the characters gets a moment to like address who they are and like what they're fighting for. And some of the characters that have like really great and beautiful things that they're fighting for, they don't even last. It's all the people that you're like, no, I don't like that guy. Why is that guy still here? And so throughout the movie, it just keeps doing things that I was like, man, this movie is just wrecking me. And I'm not joking. Halfway through, I had to pause it so I could just have a breakdown. I just started crying. I was like, man, cannot even like do
doing his job.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend that movie.
Yeah, I definitely want to watch that. I haven't seen it. Nicholas, any of you watch Cobra Kai? I have. I watched it before it was on Netflix. I love Baby Yoda. I watched it before it was even on Netflix. I watched it when it was on YouTube Red or YouTube TV, whatever they called it, because they changed the name like 5 times. And I love it. I'm actually like rewatching it again right now. I'm almost done. I have like 2 episodes left. It's a great show. I don't think it's amazing. I think the first season is really good, and then I think the second season's okay. Like the second season's good. It's serviceable. I'm looking forward to season 3. I know I've told Nate about it. I don't know if Nate's watched it though.
I've gotten a lot of people recommending it, and I want to see it. I didn't realize, Nick, you recommended it to me, and then I looked it up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize it was that praised. And so I'm interested in it. Yeah, it's on my watch list on Netflix.
Jackson, have you seen it?
Yeah, same here. No, I haven't seen it, but it's like with Nate, I've definitely been recommended it. And I think it was like 2 days ago, The Karate Kid was on TV, and I was just like, oh, that's right, Cobra Kai's on Netflix. I need to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
What I like about it is it's like you would think that it has a big focus on not just like the new characters it introduces, but also on the old characters. Like William Zabka in this movie or in the show is really great. The one who played Johnny Lawrence in The Karate Kid, he was the villain.
Isn't he the lead in it?
See a little bit more into him and why he was the way that he was, and you have so much sympathy for him as a character. Ralph Macchio is great as Danny LaRusso. I will say this as kind of like a little bit of a warning, and I don't think it's a bad thing, but it is a little CW-ish at times. I don't know if you guys.
Oh, really?
A little
what?
A little bit.
CW.
Like the
oh. No, that immediately turned me off, man. I'm not gonna lie.
here's the thing, not so much. It's like the first maybe 2 or 3 episodes it feels like that, and then it doesn't anymore.
See, my problem is, unpopular opinion, I just don't really care for the Karate Kid too much. I've seen it like once, and I don't remember it at all, but I remember it was fine, but I kind of like put the Karate Kid and the Sandlot on the same tier where I recognize their classics, but I just don't really care for them.
They have a character in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have a character in season 1 and season 1 and season 2 named Hawk, who is phenomenal.
Oh, really?
His name's Hawk.
You'll see why. And then season 2, they introduce this character played by the guy who played Richard Jewell. I can't think of his name right now.
Paul Walter Hauser. Yeah.
Paul Walter Hauser, and Paul Walter Hauser is awesome in season 2. He's so funny. He plays this character named Stingray. It's great. Let's see. Film fanatic. Favorite 2003 movie. I have to look up 2003 movies.
Your year.
I'm gonna say Return.
I'm guessing they're gonna say Return of the King.
Yeah, that's my answer too. If that, because that would be my answer. I don't even need to look up 2003.
Return of the King's mine too, but just to be different, I will say Finding Nemo and Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, dang it! I was gonna say Finding Nemo.
Sorry, man.
No, you're good. No, I'll choose something else. Bruce Almighty. No, okay, I actually do.
He's like Steve Carell. He's like "Kaka poo poo pee pee" when he's like imitated. My friends and I, when we saw Shazam, we were joking. We were like, "What if instead of having to say Shazam, he had to say "Kaka poo poo pee pee" whenever he turns?"
Dude, I think anybody who has seen Bruce Almighty, they all remember like dying laughing at that scene for the first time.
Yeah, it's so funny. And Peter, thank you for recognizing my baby
Yoda. I actually have 2 because I'll say School of Rock.
That's another one I was going to say as well.
Wait a minute.
It's just his ear.
It's just like I'm eavesdropping. But the other one is Lost in Translation.
Oh, that's a good one.
And you see that one.
That's a great movie. I would probably put that over Return of the King if I were even making a list.
Say what?
Hi, Jackson. See ya. I'm just kidding.
My bad. No, it's because I think my favorite of the Lord of the Rings trilogy is actually the first one. That sounds really out of the field, but yeah, I just love the first one because it's like the setup. You meet all the characters. It's got the most iconic moments of the trilogy.
Yeah,
indeed.
Okay. Oh my gosh, it just jumped on me. Have you seen Dear Zachary? I'm gonna say no, that we all haven't seen that.
It's a Broadway, I think. I don't know. No, I'm thinking of Evan Hansen.
I'm trying to look at, if you guys see any, let me know in the chat. Here's a question. Apocalypse Now? Question mark.
Nah, Apocalypse Later.
Nah, maybe Apocalypse sometime.
Maybe like our thoughts on Apocalypse Now. I haven't. Jackson, do you want to?
I mean, I think me and Nate are gonna say the same thing. We both love it.
Yeah, the horror.
The horror.
Dude, that's the best line.
That is the best line. That and when he says you're a errand boy sent to collect a bill by grocer clerks. Like boom, you just got roasted, Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
I feel like Baby Yoda's just staring right into my soul right now.
And he's just kind of doing like well, I guess I'm here.
You can totally see him in the corner.
Oh, Movie Geek says, his most recent comment, have you all seen West Side Story? I have.
I have too.
I don't like it.
I have as well. It's okay. It's not my favorite musical, but hey, I'm looking forward to it just because Spielberg. But at the same time, it's not like one of my most anticipated. But I mean, Ansel Elgort has been canceled though, so like that's one of the things that we have to deal with for this movie. I don't know, Jackson, if you know about that. Did you hear about that?
Oh no, what happened?
Ansel Elgort apparently like sexually assaulted like a a young girl or something, like either a 17-year-old or his ex-girlfriend or something like that. And there's been a couple of people that have come out saying that he is very mean to women, and he hits them and things like that. So,
jeez.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy, you know. I mean,
the thing about these things is I don't want to say the wrong thing and I don't want to create a controversy. But the thing is we can't be too shocked when celebrities make human mistakes. Not saying that it makes these things right, obviously, but when they make a mistake like this, don't just completely ruin their lives. Why don't we look to say, hey, you need help. You've got problems. What can we do? Does that necessarily mean, oh, they're getting help, they should be in movies? No, it doesn't mean they should never get a job ever again for the rest of their lives. I think that's fair of cancel culture to do, is say who and what decides what the next move is for somebody's life. That's just not fair. And not saying that like Kevin Spacey, dude's a monster. I don't think that guy should ever get work ever again because he lied and he continuously shows himself to be a terrible person. But things like Aziz Ansari, look at, for example, he got one allegation and now he doesn't have a career.
Mm-hmm.
And Master of None is the shows. And so it's like, okay, if you read the allegation against him, it is uncomfortable to read, but you look at it and you're like, is this a career ruining story, or is this something that can easily be addressed and fixed through like talking and maybe even some group therapy for him? You know, it's things like that I'm like, do we have to ruin people's lives? They're clearly needing help.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, and I understand, like, Kevin Spacey's a monster. Harvey Weinstein, they're monsters. Like, they should never be allowed back, you know, obviously. But I see that. I see that point. And, and again, we don't – the problem is like it's almost like we've gone away from the ideology of, like, innocent until proven guilty. And now it's, like, guilty until proven innocent, you know? And I think that's one of the biggest issues that I think we are dealing with because, like, you know, you don't celebrities, I think, you know, you're under an umbrella where you have to be a certain way, and any little thing that could happen can be taken completely out of context.
Yeah.
Monetary gain or something like that. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to say like I don't believe her or anything. Like that's not what I'm trying to say. I don't understand the ideology of let's just, you know, let's have him be guilty until proven innocent. And I just think that's not right. You know, our judicial system doesn't work that way. So,
and you look at a movie, look at like 3 Billboards.
Oh, so good.
It is full of political incorrectness. And Sam Rockwell's character is a straight up racist. But by the end of it, he's the character that we all like the most.
He's the redeeming.
So it's like at the end,
yeah.
He's the best redemption of any character I've seen in a movie in like a very long time. And I think that's because he plays it so perfectly realistic. It's like some of them, like some people who do terrible things don't realize, oh, that's a terrible thing. And so when they realize it, they're kind of humbled by it. And that's what happens to Sam Rockwell's character. So people should use that as an example. And it's such a relevant movie, especially right now. So definitely, I agree with you, Peter. It did deserve to win in 2017.
I agree too. It's a great movie.
Even though I love Shape of Water, I think Shape of Water is
I like 3 Billboards more. I agree.
Here's an interesting question. I don't know if you guys have seen the original Borat, but I have. You guys see that Borat 2 is being filmed and screened already. This was insane.
It's already been filmed.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but on Twitter, Sacha Baron Cohen said that Borat 2's already been filmed, and like they're actually like screening it. Like some people have already seen it. I will say this, Borat. I don't think you would like it. I'll say
I haven't seen it. I have no interest.
I loved it when I was younger. I don't know if I'd watch it again and still find it funny. I definitely want to see it though, because I do like the first one. I kind of want to see like how they're going to keep this character the same in such a changed world. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. Jackson,
it's going to be amazing. I'm excited. I love Sacha Baron Cohen. I think everything he does is so on point. And even like Bruno, which a lot of people don't like, I think is even better than Borat. I think it's funnier, at least. But Borat, this is a joke you will like from the movie, Nate, because the plot of the movie, it's this guy from Kazakhstan. He becomes obsessed with Pamela Anderson, the actress from Baywatch, and so he wants to go out to LA to like meet her and make her his wife. And so he goes through America and he does all these horrible things, and it's meant like to be a documentary. So it's kind of like in the style of The Office.
Mockumentary, okay.
Yeah, so I think he's meeting with these rednecks in like Midwest or something like that, and they're telling him all about like nature and like America and things like that. And they're standing all around this giant turtle, and Borat's just like, "Now, is this a cat in a hat?" And the guy's like, "No, this is a tortoise."
One of the funniest parts, like the movie starts off, it's literally like he's like, "Hi, my name is Borat. I live in Kazakhstan." And then he talks about he all of a sudden he starts like making out with this girl, and then he goes, "This is my sister." It's like, oh my gosh, dude! Like that's what you get into. Like the first like 5 minutes, it shows that, and you're just like, well, I'm in for something very unique, and it's just crazy. Honestly, it's one of those movies that like. I don't know if you could watch, like, I don't know how rewatchable it is, but like when I saw it for the first time, I thought it was really, really funny. There's a scene too where he goes to, he believes like there's witches and stuff and voodoo doctors. And so he ends up going to this garage sale, and this lady's outside selling stuff. And she kind of looks like, I don't know, like gothic or something like that. And he goes, and he's like looking through her stuff, and he finds like this little doll, and he's like, "You're going to shrink me into a doll, you witch," and like stuff like that. It's just like, I don't know. It's really just kind of stupid humor, but like it's funny.
Well, and the joke is, the big thing about it, Nate, is he's the only actor. Most everybody else they're unaware that this is fake.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. That makes it funnier.
Except for the big guy who's his assistant, because he's actually in Cobra Kai.
Yeah, the big guy and Pamela Anderson, obviously, but everybody else, include like anybody from Kazakhstan, like the beginning, that's definitely all actors because he, obviously. But when he comes to America and it's all like documentary footage and it looks really raw, that's because it's real. He's really doing those things.
Jackson, I also love when the guy comes to his door and he's like, "Hey, I'm sorry to inform you, but your wife has passed away," and he just is like, "Oh." And then he has a big smile on his face. He's like, "All right." I find
like the best part of The Other Guys, that Will Ferrell movie, is when Steve Coogan's character is walking out, and of all people, Gabe from The Office comes out, and he's just like, Steve Coogan's like, "Hey, Jerry, how's the wife?" And he's like, "Oh, she died." And he's like, "Attaboy."
I sent you a link.
The Other Guys, man. What? I don't really like that movie that much, but like, there's some funny moments in that movie. Sorry, Nate had to take a very important call, obviously.
There's my mom.
Did you tell her that we love her and that we miss her?
I mean, no, but I could say yes, and then you guys could re-watch the viewing and see that I definitely didn't say any of that. But no, I just said I'm still on the live stream, and she's like, "Oh, what's the channel?" And I said I sent you the link, and so they're gonna tune in probably.
Awesome.
Number one fan right there.
I just love giving you a hard time, man.
Yeah. Let's move on to a question that doesn't have to do with Borat.
Okay. Yes. All right, we have a lot of Criterion questions. If you could have one movie on Criterion, what would it be? We've kind of answered this quite a few times. I guess we could say something different though.
Yeah, Nick and I have a whole video on this.
For me, it's Ran by Kurosawa. It's criminally underrated. I've never heard of that movie, but
I've heard of it. Apparently, Bernardo's saying that it's on the DVD. It just hasn't been re-released, and it's also out of print. So there's that. But
they need to get on that. They need to release the Kurosawa set. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they really do. Jeez, because they pretty much have like most of his filmography, anyways. I would say "What's a Wonderful Life" for obvious reasons. It was on the Laserdisc collection, but hasn't been upgraded to the Blu-ray, so that'd be really cool.
Yeah, you go ahead. I was just about to say.
I'll go with something different. I've said, Life is Beautiful 100 times, and nothing has still happened. Obviously Criterion doesn't watch our videos, but I'll say Casablanca, which was, also on Laserdisc at one point, just not on Blu-ray. I think that movie is one of the greatest films of all time, and deserves to be on Criterion.
Agreed.
It's a good choice. I'm gonna say Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Nice.
That's a good one.
I love that movie.
Have seen it once, and I need to see it again because I didn't really like it that much.
Yeah, I think the thing with that movie is I've seen a few people like have that kind of same reaction where they didn't care for it the first time, but then they went back, and I think I don't know if this is what it was, but when it makes more sense, like you go back and you catch things, you're just like, oh. And then for me, I was like, okay, this is amazing because it just it's a puzzle of a movie. It's so great.
Another one Nate and I agree on is Truman Show.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's a great choice.
Really, anything by Peter Weir would be good. Truman Show, Dead Poets Society, I think would be great as well.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a movie from the late 70s. It's called Breaking Away by Peter Yates, and it's got young Dennis Quaid and oh man, I forget who the main guy is, but it's a really great movie, and it's about this kid, and he's like a year out of high school, and so he's just trying to figure it out, and he loves Italian culture. He's like, he speaks Italian all the time, but his dad's like a super, oh no, we're American in this house, but it's about him just like wanting to be Italian and wanting to get into like world and not stay in the town he's in. And it's just a really great.
It sounds like Blinded by the Light, but
yeah.
Wait, not Blinded by the Light. What's that movie called we saw? Is it called Blinded by the Light?
Blinded by the Light.
Yeah.
No,
it sounds like Blinded by the Light, but with Italian culture instead of
it's a million times better.
Yeah, no, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Breaking Away, but I've heard the Kelly Clarkson song. Sorry, that was really stupid.
They're one and the same, so I think you got it.
Yeah, the original song from Princess Diaries 2, Royal Engagement.
Classic song right there.
Dude, classic movie.
Yes, exactly.
I really like. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I really like this question.
Yeah.
I was about to bring that one up too.
I love this question, Nicholas. This is great. What other interests do you all have besides movies? Who wants to go first? Nate, do you want to go first?
I can go first. Yeah. It's hard because I feel like I'm one of those guys that like I pretty much I like anything. I like trying new things. I don't like hunting or fishing or anything like that. That's something that I'll just flat out say I don't like. But some things I like. This last summer, I got really into disc golfing, so I like that. Played pickleball today. That was fun. I like being outdoors and just like hanging out with friends. I really like being outdoors. And then longboarding is fun, but I don't know. I also like reading, and I know that YouTube videos are kind of like has to do with movies, but I really do like just editing the YouTube videos, and I don't know. It's a hobby of mine, editing videos. I've edited videos for like other things besides YouTube, and I just like it's something that brings me joy. So those are the things that come to my mind right away.
Jackson.
It's pathetic. I don't really have any other interest but movies. Like I really don't. That's what I want to do with my life. That's what I'm going to school for. That's what I'm like planning on. But I mean, I like other things. I love music. The types of music I'm very pretty lenient on. I hate country music. I will never like country music. I've given it a shot. The thing with me is I will give any type of music a shot because who am I to say, I don't know, because there's different types. I've never once listened to a country song and gone, oh, I'd listen to that again. No, I'm always like, what is this? Turn it. But I like reading, like Nate said. Depends on though why I'm reading. It can't be forced reading. It's weird, but I really like researching things that I don't know anything about, like that I have really no interest in, and just like learning something about it. Like I know how much milligrams of certain medications you can take before it's too much, and that's weird, but
random facts.
Hey, it's an important thing to know, because hey, if you told me you're gonna put me on that prescription and I'm like, hey, that's 5 milligrams over, sir, tone it down. He's gonna be like, hey, why aren't you the physician here? So, but otherwise, that is a good question, but I just don't.
I have other passions. I love baseball. I'm a huge Yankee fan. But if I didn't have a YouTube channel on movies, it would be about baseball for sure. It'd be about Yankees baseball, even though they break your heart every year because they're disappointing. And I played baseball too. So I mean, I love sports in general. I like music. I like a lot of older music, I would say. Trying to think. I like shiny hunting and Pokemon. That's pretty fun. It's pretty stupid and just random, but like, it kills time.
Yeah.
Let's see. I love being a creative though. I think that's what I like the most is just like creating something. And it's not just like movie related, but like, I do want to make films in the future. Like that's one of my goals. And, right now I am writing a short film, which I'm super excited about.
Cool.
And I just love the creative process. Kind of like Nate, I love editing videos. Just like making the trailer for this live stream, man. I had such a blast like making that, like cutting that. That was like so much fun. And I also love hanging out with friends. I like playing board games or like, just hanging out. Nate and I, like we hung out just the other day and, we made an Instagram video just announcing the live stream, but like we didn't record anything. We just kind of like hung out, talked about like a lot of different stuff. And, so, those things I really do like. And, but movies are my favorite thing, to talk about.
I have a follow-up question. This kind of goes with what Nicholas is asking. What kind of YouTube videos do you guys like watching that aren't movie related?
Right. I can start. I've really gotten into Mr. Beast a lot. I love Mr. Beast. I think he makes some of the most like impressionable videos. Because for those of you who don't know who Mr. Beast is, I mean, a lot of people do, but he's somebody who like gives back to other people. And he's one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform. His videos are very different from like, people who are popular on the platform, like the Paul brothers or whatever. Like he does challenges for like his subscribers. Like I was watching one today where it's like he brought in a bunch of his subscribers and literally had challenges for them to win money. And even if they don't win or succeed, he still gives them some money and stuff. Like there was this one guy he pulled from McDonald's. And he would like this employee from McDonald's. He's like, "Hey, do you want to be in my video?" And the guy's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, are you working right now though?" He's like, "I don't care. I want to be in the video." So he just like comes from McDonald's and I think it was like he put 2 patties in his hand. One was from McDonald's and one was from Burger King. And he's like, "All right, you got to tell me which one." He was gonna have a taste test. Which one's from McDonald's? And the guy didn't even taste it. He's like, "Oh, this one's from McDonald's." And he's like, "Yeah, you're totally right." And he gave him I think it was like $3,000 or $5,000 or something. And then he goes, "Are you subscribed to my channel?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." And then he goes, "Okay, wait a second." So he pulls his friends aside because he works with his friends. And he goes, "All right, guys, because he's a subscriber, we're going to give him more money." And the guy ended up walking away with like $13,000 or something like that, or $10,000. And he goes, "All right, this is your challenge. You have to take 3 steps." And the guy just takes 3 steps and that's it. And then he gave him $10,000. Like, it's just like, I really like his videos a lot. I think he makes really good content. And I would say like him, other than him, like, and that's not movie related, like pretty much nobody else. I don't really watch a lot of other YouTubers right now. Sorry, that was a answer, but
oh no. I mean, I don't watch a lot of YouTubers other than like movie stuff. And I don't really watch like the collector stuff as much anymore. I mainly watch like video essays, like Nathan's videos or Nate's videos or a variety of those kind of videos. But other than that, I watch Cody Ko. That's probably my favorite YouTuber. But I don't watch Mojo anymore.
Watch Mojo.
I just don't. We used to be so into them, which is crazy because I look at their videos now and I'm just like, man.
Even when we were into them, we recognized that they're kind of like cheesy.
Yeah, we were like, we kept making jokes about like and top 10, top 10 of anything.
Top 10 shapes. Number 7, a square. Be there, or be square, Mojoholics. Like,
shut up.
They make videos. I remember one of their videos was like top 10 anime drummers. It's like, I'm sorry, what?
So random.
I didn't know that there was 10 to rank.
Yeah. For real. I watch a lot of movie YouTubers too. outside of that, I really like watching Harry Potter related videos. There's this guy I watch called the Potter Collector, and he just opens up packages that he gets from like companies, and he shows them like what was sent, and it's totally cool because it's memorabilia from the books and movies. And I don't know, I'm just so entertained by that kind of stuff, and it makes, I don't know, sometimes it makes me want to have a Harry Potter channel, which is really random, but I like Harry Potter a lot, so I'd say that.
Yeah, Harry Potter is great, man. I told you about this, Nate, but I watched the Harry. I know it's different from the Potter Collector, but the Harry Potter theory stuff. Like,
yeah, pretty much all Harry Potter channels I really enjoy.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Star Wars channels too, like Star Wars theory and stuff like that. So
nice.
Yeah. But yeah, that was a cool question. Here's one that I got before, but like I want to ask you guys because I'm kind of curious on what you guys think. Criterion 15th predictions.
Ooh.
I'm gonna be right back. Give me a second. And you guys can answer this question real quick, and I'll answer afterwards, I guess.
You go ahead, Nate.
What are our answers? Just kidding. I don't care.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you guys can answer this question. I didn't know. I didn't know if I said.
Okay, it's hard. It's hard to say because we don't have anything to go off of. I mean, it's December, so maybe a Christmas release. I like every single December. I'm not even gonna lie by saying that I hope that Wonderful Life will get a release. But recently, I've been feeling like Spellbound's gonna get a re-release on Blu-ray. It only has a DVD release, and it's a well-liked Hitchcock film. I saw it for the first time for Hitchcock Month in August, and I loved it. Top 10 Hitchcock movie right there. It needs a re-release. I don't know why it hasn't gotten that upgrade. And so I'm going to say Spellbound, but that's mostly because I don't have anything to go off of. It's not like you can say, okay, they're focusing on this director right now. Maybe I could predict a movie that has to do with African-American filmmakers, but I can't think of any on the top of my head. So it's just hard. I don't have anything to go off of to predict that.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I don't know. That's like you said. It's too
like what do
hard
you? How do you go off of that? How do you predict?
Yeah, exactly. If I wanted one, I mean, if we can go back to that, if that's what we're saying. If I wanted one, I guess I don't know. I thought about recently Silence by Martin Scorsese. Like that would.
Oh really? Yeah.
Like that would fit in because they have like Age of Innocence and then like Last Temptation of Christ. So it's kind of like it's kind of in that category of like obscure, lesser known Scorsese movies.
Yeah, I totally agree. And there'd be another Adam Driver film on the collection, so that'd be kind of cool. But
they're definitely gonna do Noah Baumbach's Kicking and Screaming. That's definitely gonna be coming to Blu-ray.
That'd be cool
because they've been posting about it.
I just like Noah Baumbach, so I haven't.
Yeah, I love Noah Baumbach. Cool. That's a really underrated. At A24, they did which one of his movies? Didn't they do a Noah Baumbach movie? Or no, that was Netflix. Meyerowitz Stories.
And obviously Marriage Story.
Yeah, Marriage Story. I love
Story is I love Meyerowitz Stories. I've seen 3 Baumbach films: Meyerowitz, Marriage Story, and Francis Ha, and I enjoy all 3 of them.
And he co-wrote Fantastic Mr. Fox, so technically you've seen 4. Yeah,
that's so cool.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
that's super cool. I was gonna say really quickly, although Jackson and I don't really have like official answers for this question, I will say though, I'm not even joking. I look forward to the 15th of every month because I know that's when Criterion Collection will come out, and so I like look forward to that email. And so, although I don't like have a good prediction, I can say that like I always look forward to that day.
I think so. What I said, what my answer was. Sorry, I had to take a quick break for a second. But I guess my answer to this would be, I think we'll get the date for Memories of a Murder by Bong Joon-ho because that was announced, but we haven't gotten any like initial date release or anything like that. So that's what my guess is that that's going to be one of the titles that they're going to reveal what day it's coming out on. But that's it. I don't know anything else. I have no idea. So
could be doing a re-release of something.
Yeah, I hope it's Spellbound.
They could be doing Spellbound. They might. I mean, have they been posting things from Grand Illusion?
Oh my gosh, I would love Grand Illusion. Why haven't they? I don't understand why they haven't done that.
Yeah, they've got to do.
Isn't that the first Criterion release officially?
Yeah, it's number 1, and it's only on DVD, and I think it's out of print too.
It's out of print. It's on the Criterion channel.
Yeah, you can watch it, but like, I want to own number 1 right now. We all own number 2, but we don't own number 1.
That would be really cool.
Frustrating. I know.
Maybe they'll announce The Room by Tell Me Why So.
Nick, that was like the most controversial pick you had on my video.
Dude, but hey,
Star Wars.
I'm still going with it. That I could see that being on the Criterion. On Criterion.
Jellyfish eyes.
Oh, I know. Yeah, if they have jellyfish eyes, it's just hard. Like, yeah, I don't know. If they ever put The Room, then you can like tell me I told you so. But I just don't. I don't know. I don't see The Room.
No, I mean, that was the fun thing about the video, though. It's like, honestly, I put it in the lower of the list because I just thought it was kind of like I know it was very controversial, though. Believe me, I know.
No, I liked it. I thought it was subjective, so it was perfect.
Yeah. Have you guys seen A Face in the Crowd?
I've seen half of it and I turned it off.
You didn't like it?
No, it wasn't that I didn't like it. I don't think I was watching it at the right time. I just couldn't get into it.
Okay. I feel that.
Like Andy Griffith is really good and it's entertaining, but for me, I just wasn't like, I want to keep going. Like I was just kind of like, I've seen enough for right now. Like I don't.
Yeah. For me, I own the Blu-ray. I own the Criterion, and I've owned it since the November sale. And I purposely have not watched it because it's a movie that I'm gonna watch with my dad because he loves Andy Griffith. And so this last time I was in Arizona, we were supposed to watch it, but we never got around to it. So like literally, I know I need to see it and I want to see it because I've heard it's Andy Griffith's like best performance of all time, but I just haven't gone around to it because of that reason. But I want to see it. I'll probably watch it in December when I'm back in Arizona.
It's a super relevant movie.
I remember you picking that up, Nate. I remember it was last November.
Yeah. I think it was November.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but it's one that I'll have to hear what your thoughts are on it, Nate, and maybe I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, I just hear every Criterion video I've watched that mentions that, they all say Andy Griffith is amazing in it.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree with that.
This has been a question that we've gotten a few times. We could talk about it. What do you guys think about the new Oscar inclusion parameters?
There's a lot to it, and it's really not as like
it's not a big deal.
It's not.
It's not. You literally only have to meet you can meet C and D, which are literally just technical things. Have a woman as a cinematographer or write a movie with a female lead. That's it.
Yeah,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly. I could see if they said this is the only requirement. You have to have what was the word they used with like an underused race? I can't remember the word they used, but you guys know what I'm talking about. It's not like they said your movie has to star an underused race or it has to be directed by a female, because then that would be inclusion. That would be unfair. But they say you can do this, that, or you can involve someone. I think it literally even said you can have someone of an under what's the word? I can't think of the word. Minority race. Thank you. You can have someone from a more minority race in the marketing team or something like that. It's like people are probably hopefully already doing it.
Yeah.
If that was the case where, if it was the case where you could only have like minority race as a star, I would be mad because then masterpieces like Dunkirk couldn't be nominated. And so that's just like a top of the head thought I had, a movie that I had. But the fact that it's just saying we need more diverse people working in Hollywood, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
and that's fair. And it's like why is it only in 2020 that we're doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we waiting for 2024? But yeah.
When I first heard about it, I didn't like it at first, but that's because I didn't read it. I didn't realize how easy it was.
Yeah.
And
basically nothing's changing, honestly.
Yeah, because here's John Campea. I know some people don't like John Campea, but like John Campea said something that was really, really interesting about it, and I completely agree. He says it's basically saying that like the only way for film, like for people to get mad about it, is essentially it's like okay, I'm trying to think of like the way he worded it, but he basically said like for a film not to add these types of people in different departments, that is exclusion, and it shows that those people are being excluded because of the fact that they're a minority or something like that. So it's like it's almost like it should already be happening, but like it's basically like a repercussion of like, look, if you're not being inclusive in any aspect of filmmaking or any aspect of the process, then you are doing it. You're being like you're excluding people, and I don't know, something like that. Like what he said was like really good. Watch John Campia's thoughts on it. He definitely could say it a lot better than me, but
I agree. I know what you're saying.
but that's the thing is, it's like for you not to include that, it's like you're excluding them. Like you are literally forcibly trying to make it so that way, there is no inclusivity. I don't know. That's kind of like my thoughts on it. So I guess it's a lot easier than a lot of people think.
Yeah, and the funniest part was the comments when they first posted it were all like, so you're telling people that if their art isn't, or you're telling people that they have to make their art a certain way to be nominated. And it's like, did you even read it? Do you know what they're even saying? Like, this isn't telling you these are the stories you have to tell, and these are the characters you have to have. These are the filmmakers you have to have. Nobody's saying that. They're saying, hey, if you want to get rewarded and bring more light to your film, why don't you do these things out of goodness, not out of, hey, let's get a reward out of it? How about we just show inclusivity, because we shouldn't be looking at people based on race or, credence or any kind of any other thing. We should just look at them based on their talent, which, I mean, you look at female filmmakers, it is a big problem right now because there isn't a lot of them. But at the same time, the ones who make really, really great movies aren't getting nominated. So it is kind of discouraging. So I think this is great for the Academy, because then this can mean like Lulu Wang, or maybe even somebody like Patty Jenkins can get nominated, because I think Patty Jenkins was snubbed for Monster.
Yeah, she was. And it's funny, Charlize Theron won the Best Actress award. To me, it's like, look, if your actor or actress wins the Academy Award, then that director should be nominated.
Oh, hands down.
That's like an obvious thing. Like for example, Noah Baumbach should have been nominated last year over someone like Todd Phillips. I'm sorry.
Oh, don't even get me started with that whole thing.
Noah Baumbach had three actors, and one of them ended up winning for Best Supporting Actress, Laura Dern. He had three actors all nominated in three different acting categories, and yet he wasn't even nominated.
And it was nominated for Best Editing. The director has a say on the editing.
Exactly. Yeah, it was one of the, it's so dumb.
Yeah, and I feel like to counter, or not to counter, but you guys were saying that if the actor wins, the director should be nominated. You could make a case in point with Todd Phillips. Joaquin Phoenix won, but the thing is, like, Joaquin Phoenix is just a genius. Like, he's just anyone, a freaking like a carrot could direct him and he would be nominated. But like he's just amazing.
Because he doesn't need direction. He just goes to set and he's just like, where are you shooting me from? It'll be these angles. Okay, that's it.
Yeah,
Tommy Wiseau could direct him. Okay, and I guarantee it will be amazing.
Good point.
Let's see, Nicholas. I like this question a lot, actually. Speaking of YouTube, any of y'all still watch the OG movie channels like Collider, Screen Junkies, His High, which I don't know what that is again. What is it?
It's How It Should Have Ended.
Oh, okay, yeah, etc. Because I don't watch any of them either anymore. I used to watch Collider all the time, but I don't. Now that John Campia left, I don't even care about Collider, and they don't
Screen Junkies and Screen Rant are my two least favorite YouTube channels ever. I hate those.
Like when we were in high school, Screen Junkies were pretty good. I loved movie fights. Remember Jackson? Yeah, Jackson and I, and like Atlin and Jack, some other friends of ours, we would do straight up movie fights, and we would follow like the same rules that they follow on Screen Junkies. And we got a little heated sometimes too. Still standing by Tom Hanks as the best performance he's done, or for
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips, yeah. Still standing by that argument. Backstory, really. Sorry. The movie fight was best Tom Hanks performance. Jack did Forrest Gump.
Yep.
Atlin did Castaway, right?
No, Saving Private Ryan.
Okay, I did Captain Phillips, and I was like eliminated right away. It was like, what? Captain Phillips is amazing.
But it is amazing. I just like we look at Tom Hanks.
It's hard because he's so good in everything. But I I've never really watched Collider. Screen Junkies has gone downhill. I won't lie. Hizzy, like, I still watch their videos, but I don't think they're nearly as funny. But I will say, as far as OG film critics go, I still like faithfully watch Jeremy Jahns and Chris Stuckman. I really like them.
Me too.
I don't watch Jeremy Jahns as much anymore, just because I think I don't know, just some of like the way he talks about movies. I'm just kind of like, dude, shut up.
Well, so Chris Stuckman, he's the critic you watch for like artsy films. Jeremy Jahns is the critic you watch for like blockbuster films, but he still appreciates like some aspects of like deep filmmaking. So like that's how I treat the two.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I don't like Chris Stuckman. Like, I don't agree with his opinions a lot of the time, just because of a lot of like, because most of the time what he says, I'm like, I got that from the critics' consensus on Rotten Tomatoes. Why'd I have to watch a 4 or 5 minute video of you talking about it?
Yeah,
like, he just touches on all the points.
I'm not trying to be controversial here, but I feel like it's hard because a lot of YouTubers kind of, it's just hard. I know film is subjective, but I feel like a lot of movie critic YouTubers just kind of repeat what has already been said. And so that's where it's just kind of hard. But I'm not putting anyone down. I'm just saying like that's where it comes. Well, it's hard.
The thing that frustrates me about Chris Stuckman is like I definitely like his personality, the lack thereof, I should say, because he doesn't really have one. He's kind of very monotone. I kind of like that. But I think the thing that frustrates me about him is he talks about movies as if he lives, breathes, will die movies. And then you watch that short film that he made, and I'm like, really? Like, you are the guy that made that? Like, dude, you need some work. And he got that shown in like festivals and things, and I was just like, oh my gosh, you don't know, like, it's not very good.
Well, yeah, I agree with you on that. I watched a short film too, and I was very disappointed.
I watched a fraction of it.
You didn't miss out.
No, I didn't.
I mean, he's a big YouTuber though, so I feel like whatever he makes, I think he's gonna have an audience stand by him. Faithfully. So like, because I know he's talked about in the past how he already has like a couple like actual big pictures, like feature films that he's working on, and he's talked to studios and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I mean, they probably want to work with him just because he's Chris Stuckman. He's gonna get some butts and seats, really, but I don't know, man. I know that there's one YouTuber that we all just absolutely love, and we're not going to bring him up on stream, but there's one guy that all three of us, we absolutely love him. He's the greatest movie tuber in the history of MovieTube, the MovieTube community. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Obviously, you guys should know that I'm being sarcastic, but yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to say who it is, but no, to me, like, for example, I still watch Chris Stuckman. I like Chris Stuckman. Jeremy Jahns, I don't watch nearly as much. I do like John Camp, even though I know he's kind of changed a lot over the past year. I don't know. It's really hard. Like, I like watching smaller movie channels because you'll find a lot more people there actually have a real, like, thoughtful opinion on a film that's their own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I love that.
Yeah.
But we're kind of like wrapping up here, I think. But
mm-hmm. I do. My little sister Brooklyn just asked a question.
Is it this one right here, Minnie's room?
Yeah, that's it. Minnie's room. That's our cat Minnie. Great video. What's your favorite Funko Pop? Or if you could get one Funko Pop, which would you get? Jackson, I don't think you're really into Funko Pops, are you?
No, I like looking at them though.
I agree. I actually agree. I look at them and I have a few, but I can never bring myself to buying them because I'm like, I buy it, then what? It's just it's hard. But
it's just gonna sit in my shelf in the box. I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, it's just that's the hard part. So I have to get something that like really means a lot to me, so that it's showing something that represents me. Oh man, I actually haven't even thought about the question now. My favorite Funko Pop is something that I do own, and I'd probably say it's my favorite director, Alfred Hitchcock.
That's a cool one.
Yeah, and it says Psycho on it. It's from specifically the time he was filming Psycho. So I got it black and white too. I think that's really cool. If I could get one Funko Pop, which would I get? Oh my gosh, I can't even think right now. How about better yet, if I could ask them to release one Funko Pop, what would I want? And I would want either a James Stewart one or a Rod Serling for the Twilight Zone. I think those would be
I was gonna say I would guess you would want a Rod Serling one.
Yeah, that would be so cool. And even if he was like, what if he even had like stars on his suit or something like for the Twilight Zone?
Oh, right. Yeah, black and white suit. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. If there was one I wanted, I don't know if they have this because I don't collect them. So if there is one for like I know there are ones for Pulp Fiction, I would get one of Samuel L. Jackson's character, but I think the one I'd want is an E.T. Funko Pop. Because like it's perfectly shaped for it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google if they have an E.T. Funko Pop.
Yeah, that's a good question.
My favorite. Hold on, I'm just reading.
Oh, they have
dude.
It's adorable, as I would imagine.
What happened?
The E.T.
There is an
Funko
E.T.
Pop.
Funko Pop.
Yeah, looks good too.
Sorry, I was like confused. It's like, wait, what's going on? I thought like someone just like entered into the chat. I'm like, who's here? It's just like Atlin or something just comes in. Hey, what's up?
You
my
would
favorite.
never say that.
That's why Jackson and I are laughing.
my favorite Funko Pop that I own, because I only own Star Wars ones that people have given me, and that would be this golden Yoda, which is pretty cool.
That's dope.
I really like it. I keep it in the box. I don't know, because I'm weird like that, I guess.
Not weird. That's actually a very common thing.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of weird though. Like it literally, you just get it and you just keep it in the box, and literally, it just sits there.
Yeah.
The one that I would love to see, I would love a Funko Pop of Bong Joon-ho.
That'd be
awesome.
So awesome. Like him holding up all 4 of his Oscars, you know?
Yes.
Or Guillermo del Toro when he won and he has the envelope.
Yes,
that's the right one. We won.
Jackson, they have a Guillermo del Toro Funko Pop.
No way.
They do. They have. So they have it. Yeah, I actually saw him the other day, and I kind of want to get him. But the thing is, I've only seen like a few of it. I've seen Pacific Rim and Shape of Water, and I feel like that's not enough to go off of me buying a Funko Pop of him. But I just love that exists. But they have a director series. They also have Patty Jenkins, I believe, and I want them to do more directors. I want to see Steven Spielberg, Christopher Nolan. I want to see Greta Gerwig. Why not? I mean, there's so many. I wish they released more directors because they have like J.J. Abrams. I'm like, come on,
It's so random.
More mainstream.
Yeah. Oh,
this looks so good.
There we go. Yeah. So
that's a great Funko Pop.
What is he holding?
It looks like an envelope, to be honest, or like a book, maybe like a notebook.
Let's see.
What is he holding?
I saw it in the store the other day. I like held it in my hand. Oh, it's a skull book. Some sort of does he have a movie where he has a skull book?
Probably.
Maybe just referencing his kind of horror like monster genre.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ashley and I have talked about this before, but Guillermo del Toro, such an adorable person.
You just look at him and you're like, "Can I give you a hug?"
Exactly.
That's how I feel about Bong Joon-ho, though, too, man. I mean, we said this last live stream, but like, who didn't love that moment of him like literally having all those Oscars? Like, honestly.
That was so precious,
dude. That's the happiest I've ever seen anybody in my life.
I need to get this Funko Pop. They have a Funko of Tommy Wiseau.
Oh, I knew that. I knew that.
I'm gonna look.
Oh yeah, Bernardo, he is Mexican like you. There you go, man. Also, Nathan Martinez, totally agree. Would love to see a Chaplin Funko Pop. Would own that too. See, that's what I mean.
Totally
Funko Pop. They release so many Funko Pops for, and this isn't to diss Star Wars at all, Nick, but they release so many for Star Wars and Harry Potter and I don't know, Disney. Like they release so many of one genre. Let's get more like underrated movies, and they probably don't do it because of a marketing thing. They wouldn't make as much money, but I don't know, a Charlie Chaplin one, that'd be so cool. I love that idea.
That would. It really would. And they made one of like, say somebody like even James Stewart or maybe even Cary Grant. Like those would
Yeah,
be big
James Stewart,
sellers.
Cary Grant, Marilyn Monroe, Audrey Hepburn,
Katharine
Ingrid
Hepburn.
Bergman. Yeah, Katharine Hepburn. I prefer Audrey myself, but Katharine's okay.
I don't like the way Katharine talks, but I love her more as an actress.
Okay. I see that. I don't know. Catherine just kind of. I'm not gonna say.
I just saw your name change, Nate, and it got me.
Yeah, no, me too.
It's been like that for like 30 minutes, but
yeah, I don't know. Like, and the thing is like, I only have the Star Wars Funko Pops because other people have gifted them to me because everyone knows I love Star Wars. Obviously.
yeah.
But there's Funko Pops that I've seen that I really, really want that aren't Star Wars themed, for sure. And like I said, if they have a Bong Joon-ho one, I would totally buy it. Like, not gonna lie, him holding up his 4 Oscars, I don't know why that's not a Funko Pop. Like, why is it?
Love that so much.
But the Hitchcock one that you have, Nate, is really cool. And you said it's in black and white, right?
It is, yeah. It's black and white, and it's specifically for Psycho. Like the film tapper thing says Psycho, and then it says director Hitchcock, Mr. Hitchcock. But also, they have a Psycho Funko Pop of Norman Bates. They have a colored version, but they also have a black and white version, and I really want that one.
Oh, that's cool.
What would a colored version even look like? How do they know?
It's lame. Yeah, they have a color version, and it's like I think it was a Hot Top, or it was like an FYE exclusive black and white Norman Bates, and he's in well, that's a spoiler. He's wearing a certain outfit, but I want the black and white one. I don't want to own the colored one, so I purposely have never gotten the Norman Bates one because I want the black and white.
Yeah, no.
Oh, sorry, Jackson. What were you gonna say?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with Nate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your sister also wrote this, and I kind of want to answer it.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. What is your horror film of all time? I want to know your sister's. Does she watch horror, Nate?
No, definitely not. I would have to say Mickey Mouse House of Villains. Probably. I'm just kidding. That's probably Brooklyn's answer. No, I'm just kidding. Brooklyn, comment what your answer is because I don't even know what scary movies you've seen, honestly.
Hitchcock? Has she watched any Hitchcock movies with you?
Oh, yeah, of course she has. So actually, it was this last summer that I introduced her to Hitchcock. So she has seen The Birds, which she absolutely loved. She's seen Rear Window, which is her #1, and she has seen Rope. So she's
awesome.
seen all 3 amazing movies. But of all the by the way, bye Mason.
Yeah, bye Mason.
Yeah. She's seen 3 of them, and Rear Window is her favorite, but she loves The Birds. So probably The Birds is her answer, honestly. Yeah, I'd say that's her answer. I don't know what my answer is yet. I could say what's on the top of my head. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm thinking. So I love The Ring, the US one. Yeah. I love that movie, and it's gotten to a point where it's not the least bit scary to me. It's more of a mystery movie when I watch it now. But I think Naomi Watts.
Yeah, Naomi Watts.
Naomi Watts is like really good in it, and that's just becoming a classic to me. But I also love The Others with Nicole Kidman, and then Psycho, obviously. But again, none of these movies are really like horror films in my eyes anymore. But they are that genre, so yeah, I'd say those ones probably.
Jackson.
Speaking of The Others, Nate, mine is The Innocents.
Dude, that's a good answer.
I love that movie, dude. Ever since I saw that movie, I've been thinking about it. Like some of the shots are
hide and seek.
Nightmare.
Hide and seek when she's playing hide and seek.
I hate that part. Hate that part because like that part, and when the little girl is singing out on the lake and it's raining. And she's like, "Who are you singing to?" And she's like, "Nobody." And she's like, "I saw her out there." And I'm just like, "Can we just go home now? Can we make this go away?" I'm not. I don't like.
That movie was written by Capote, Truman Capote.
That's super cool. I love that movie. It's the best made horror film. But I did recently watch Carnival of Souls. I love that movie.
I didn't like it. I
loved it. I thought it was so hilarious. Like, it's not a horror movie to me.
Oh, yeah. It was way B movie.
I love the guy with the lazy eye. I was like, who is this guy?
I erased that movie from I didn't like it that much. But really quickly, I was going to say, Nick, the reason we bring up The Innocents with The Others is if you watch both movies back to back, they are very similar in plots.
Yeah. Did you say? I thought you had told me that like the others was kind of like a remake, but like not.
I don't think it's a remake, but it's just very like it's the same idea where they live in this big house. There's two kids, and both kids are kind of like haunting, not haunting, but kind of like eerie. And then it's a haunting story. Both of them are haunting stories, and so they just like really go hand in hand.
Yeah. Nicole Kidman is the mom, right?
Nicole Kidman's the mom, and there's it's like Fionnuala Flanagan, like the old woman. She comes to be a nanny, and so she's like the nanny in that case. But it's just a really well made movie, and it has an amazing twist.
Really good twist.
Yeah, it's a really good twist. But they had made a stupid movie this year called The Turning, and it also reminded me of others.
It's awful. It's awful.
Yeah,
I wanted to see it because it looked hilarious.
It did look really funny, but that just watching the trailer, I was like, this is just like a ripoff of the others. That's how I felt.
But the turning though is also really boring. I thought it was so boring, so slow. Yeah, it's just not a very good movie.
So believe it or not, The Turning is actually a remake of The Innocents because
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. So The Turning is a short story that's called The Turning of, and I think it's the name of the woman or something like that. It's like The Turning of, and that I think The Innocents doesn't follow it as closely as the remake tried to. The thing about the short story is that it's very convoluted and it's very complicated, and it's pretty much unadaptable.
Let's hope that Rebecca is a good remake. Let's hope
I should read the book to see if Hitchcock's is even.
Well, I've heard that Hitchcock's adaptation actually isn't completely true to the book. I've heard that it's like true, but like Hitchcock also goes his own directions. Apparently this new one's more true to the book. But really quickly, I just wanted to throw out there that The Others is another movie I'd love to see on the Criterion Collection. Just wanted to throw that out there.
I still need to see The Innocents. And I might pick it up next sale, maybe.
You should, Nick. You should at least watch it for October.
Yeah, for sure. You want it, Others as well. Like I want to watch both of those movies.
Yeah.
My favorite, I've said this quite a bit. It's Halloween, the original, but I'll say something else, like maybe my second favorite. I really love, and I know it's really cheesy, I love The Evil Dead, the original Evil Dead.
Oh, I love that movie.
I think, and the remake of Evil Dead that came out a few years ago is really good. Actually, I like
the remake too.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the better horror remakes. The Evil Dead. What's fun about it is it's a movie that is it's a movie that when you look at it at the surface, like it mixes both horror and a little bit of comedy. I think the second and third movies definitely stray way into the comedy section, but it's a movie that for the time and the budget that Sam Raimi had, it's his first ever movie. I think it's actually really well done, and Bruce Campbell is awesome. I think he's one of the best parts about that movie. I love the character of Ash. I just love Evil Dead. That was a movie that actually kind of creeped me out when I was younger. Funny enough.
Oh, I think the second one is my favorite of that trilogy, just because it's a remake of the first one, but it's also like making fun of the first one, like how over the top it was. Yeah. So I think the second one is perfect, but it's not a horror movie. So I'd say the first one is a better horror movie, but I think the second one is I like more. But you brought up Sam Raimi, Drag Me to Hell. I love that movie. Dude, Nate, you're going to love it. It is so good. It's so funny. Like, it's not that scary. There are a few good, really scary moments, but for the most part, I was dying laughing. I was like, holy crap, I need to rewind that. That was hilarious.
Yeah, it's good. It's one of those movies that like I never think about. It's like so underrated. Like I never.
It is very underrated. That's true.
Nate, have you seen Evil Dead?
No, I haven't seen any Evil Deads. The only Sam Raimi films I've seen are Spider-Man movies and The Great and Powerful Oz, or whatever that movie was called.
Oh, that movie sucked.
Great awful,
Sam Raimi movie is called A Simple Plan with Billy Bob Thornton, Bill Paxton, and it's about these two brothers and this other redneck guy. They're going out hunting and they run into this crashed plane, and it's got millions of dollars in it. And so they go, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take the money, but we're not going to do anything with it. We're not going to split it. We're not going to spend it. We're just going to leave it. And we're going to see if anybody comes to take it. And if nobody comes to take it when the snow melts, we'll all keep it. And of course, you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Apparently,
crazy.
Apparently, the horror film question was from your mom, Nate.
Yeah, they texted me and said that was for mom. And so I was like, what's mom's favorite? And they haven't, she hasn't answered yet. So,
and then, okay, last question. What is your favorite series? I'm going to guess this is television, right?
Movie, I'm imagining. I don't know, actually. Let's just say, I could say both.
All right.
I can say both too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can start.
Who? Me or Jack?
You can, Nate.
Sweet. So,
Baby Yoda behind you, actually. Sorry, Baby Yoda can start behind you.
No, sorry. No offense, Yoda, but movies, it's definitely Harry Potter. Definitely Harry Potter. Harry Potter is super nostalgic for me, so that's like a big reason. I will always love those movies. TV wise, The Twilight Zone for sure. And then after that, like I watched The Last Airbender for the first time this year, and that's up there. My favorite. I'm rewatching it with Boo right now, my little sister, and it's just as good, if not better, the second time. Like I love this show so much,
dude. So, I need to watch it again. I've seen it twice now.
It's so amazing. It's like stupidly amazing, and so I love.
You're like, how is this a kids show?
Yeah, and then I kind of want to just briefly say Parks and Rec and Lost, just to give viewers a little bit more of an idea of what kind of shows I watch, because I don't talk about TV shows on my channel. So I love all those shows.
Community. Would you put Community on there?
Community as actually like literally my top 5. 5 Community, 4 as of right now. Last Airbender's 4, but I'm going to probably move it up after a rewatch. 3 Lost, 2 Parks and Rec, 1 Twilight Zone. And Twilight Zone's kind of like safe in that spot. I don't see it ever being put down, but yeah.
That's great.
As long as I've known you, that's been your favorite show.
Yeah, that's always been my favorite TV show. That and Lost were competitors for a long time, but it's like Lost has kind of gone down because I recognize it's a pretty cheesy show at times, but I still love it.
That ending is awful. I hate that.
Yeah, I don't like it.
It's amazing.
What's
you
that?
don't understand, Nick. I guarantee you, no offense, but I guarantee you don't understand the ending because it's a really good ending.
I don't like the ending.
So many people misunderstand it, though. So many people think that.
No, but you did explain it to me, Nate, and I still stand by it. I don't like the ending.
Okay, I understand. I respect that, but Nick, we're gonna have to have a talk just to make sure. If you understand the ending, Nick, then by all means you can dislike it. But like, so many people misunderstand the ending to Lost, and that's why they hate it. And it's like it's an amazing ending, I think.
I just think that that show went so off the rails season 4.
It definitely jumped the shark.
Yeah, it went a little too like you're trying now.
It was when they moved the island that you're like, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, when they show up and you're like, wait, why aren't they on the island? Like, wait, where are we? What is going on? And then they tell you what's happening, and you're like, okay, that's stupid.
Like, yeah. It's a show that I was so attached to that, like, even at the parts where it was like controversial, I loved it so much at that point that I accepted it, and I still accept it. Like, I love it. Michael Giacchino, however you say his name, he made an amazing score for that TV show.
Great. Yeah, it's got a great score. But I think I like Lost, but that ending I don't care for. But my favorite movie series, it is a toss-up between like Harry Potter or Star Wars, because I think I would say Lord of the Rings, but you have to include The Hobbit because it's a series.
The Middle-earth saga.
Yeah, I hate all 3 of the Hobbit movies. I hate all 3.
When Legolas jumps on the falling bridge.
that was so stupid. I was like, why is this a trilogy? But
why are we here?
Yeah, I'll say Star Wars as like that, but I'm going with the like a asterisk saying like minus the sequel trilogy.
Okay, I like that. I appreciate that.
Because like I love Rogue One. I love Rogue One a lot. So I will include that. I don't like Solo, and those are probably my 2 least favorites are Solo and Rise of Skywalker. I hate both of those movies pretty equally.
Probably same actually. Probably same. I love
Force Awakens more. I think I can actually like Solo. I can at least kind of like have a little fun with. I don't love the movie, but like Rise of Skywalker is just more frustrating than anything. I can't really watch it.
That's true. I can see that. I think Solo, I was just so excited because I was like, it's something we haven't seen from a Star Wars movie. We're getting to see the non-Jedi side, and then we like saw it, and I was just kind of like, that's the best they could come up with. I mean, I haven't seen it since theaters, so I do still have a bad taste in my mouth. Maybe if I watch it again, it'll
Same.
be better. But yeah, I don't like that movie. As far as TV shows, it's Barry. Barry's my favorite TV
I
show.
will admit that you like that one.
I need to see it.
Dude, that like I don't even know why it's a TV show. It's basically 2 3-hour movies because there are only 8 episodes each season, and they're like 2 3-hour movies. You watch each episode like so quickly, and it's the greatest thing ever. Bill Hader, if you're not on the Bill Hader train, you're a moron.
Love it, dude. He was the best part of it, Chapter 2, and I'm not even like the biggest fan of it, Chapter 2, because that movie was way too much CGI. Because CGI is not scary. It's way too long. Oh, it's ridiculously long. But Bill Hader is the best part of it, Chapter 2, in my opinion. What's up?
Oh, what?
Anyway, I can go. My favorite movie series is Star Wars, but I'd also put Harry Potter in there as well. I love Harry Potter. Like watching it for the first time, like all the way through, was just such an amazing franchise. And I wish that, like Fantastic Beasts, I like the first one. Like it's pretty good.
I haven't seen either of them.
They're not good. Sorry.
You're good. I'm just looking at what you got to say. The second movie, Crimes of Grindelwald, I really didn't like, to be completely honest.
It was bad.
It's just a bad movie, man. It's like all over the place. It's a mess.
Yeah.
I love J.K. Rowling. I respect J.K. Rowling as an author, but she should not be writing scripts for movies. That's all.
I don't know if I respect her as an author anymore. She's kind of a nutcase today.
She says some dumb things that I don't agree with.
She does.
She's such a, like, what the heck is her deal?
And like, I guess another movie series that we didn't really we haven't talked about or anything that I really, really enjoy. It's kind of hard because there's only 3. Indiana Jones, there's 4. Sorry, there's 4 movies.
Mm-hmm.
We don't count the last movie, in my opinion, but
no.
Indiana Jones is a great series. I can watch it any time of the year and just have a blast with them, except for the 4th movie I don't like.
Okay, so I agree with Indiana Jones, and sorry to keep cutting you off. The thing for me, though, why it's not perfect, I love first and third, but second one's just like a little too corny for me at this point, like at this age. And then like obviously the 4th, I can't add anything new to the table. So like that's why to me Indiana Jones isn't like perfect, but I totally agree. First and third, like those movies are both in my top 30, 35. The third one's in my top 10.
I think me and you have the same favorite Indiana Jones movie. Mine's Last Crusade. I think yours is.
Oh yeah, same.
What about you, Jackson? Do you like Raiders or Last Crusade?
No, my favorite's Raiders.
Yeah, I do remember that, Jackson. I remember we've talked about this before.
Raiders is a great movie, though. Like it's like super close for me, but I love Sean Connery in The Last Crusade.
Yeah, for me, it's like Raiders is like that, like Godfather. It's like new level, and then Last Crusade is just under it.
Yeah. Raiders has a lot of iconic scenes, and
does
a lot of things. I just think
I can
Marion
watch Raiders anytime. I don't feel like I can watch Last Crusade anytime.
Yeah. TV series. I love The Office. I really love The Office. I didn't like it when I first watched it years ago because I didn't understand the humor. But now that I've grown and I've understood the humor, I really enjoy it. The last season is not that bad, actually. It's season 8 that I hate. Season 8 is horrendous. Because they introduce Robert California, and
I love Robert California.
He's just so weird and like perverted, man.
It's so stupid. He's like he goes and he's like showing them his big, huge, rich house, and they go into like this theater room, and he's like, I wanted to come in here and watch movies like Emmanuel 2 and Last Tango in Paris. The last movie I watched in here was Marley and Me and on Golden Effin' Pond.
Yeah, no, the thing is, it's like, I also like season 8 because the character of Andy works better as a side piece, and they make him the main character.
I agree.
That 70s show I love, except for the last season. A terrible, terrible last season. I hate the character that they bring in to replace Eric. Awful character. And the show just kind of loses its fun about it. I love Stranger Things. I really do like Stranger Things. I'm on that Stranger Things hype train. I don't think every season's perfect. I think season 3 is far better than season 2. I'm trying to think what other ones. I like Cobra Kai. I watched that. I love Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is like my favorite show of all time. The drama in that show is amazing. And I don't know. I don't know what else. Last Airbender, just like how Nate said it. I guess that would be up there for me. But and The Mandalorian. I love The Mandalorian because, not every episode's great, but for the most part, it's really, really solid. It's
I will also say Curb Your Enthusiasm. I think like that show is like my guide to life.
What I've seen of it is hilarious.
Dude, I think you should watch the rest of the show because it only gets better. I think the newest season that they just had, which was I think back in March is when it ended. I think that's the best season they've had.
That's
honestly.
Impressive.
I saw a scene of it was the main actor and Lin-Manuel Miranda were having like a duel or something.
Yep, it's
hilarious.
It's the joke. So that was the last season, but the joke of the show is that Larry David is the main character of that show, and so he wants to create a musical based on this Middle Eastern tradition called fatwa, is when a leader calls upon the death of an individual, and he wants to make a musical out of it. Well, then a leader finds out and says, okay, kill Larry David. So the whole season he's trying to run from it, and finally he gets a deal that he can make the musical and the fatwa will be lifted, but he has to work with Lin-Manuel Miranda, and Lin-Manuel Miranda is just the biggest tool. He's like, they have this argument that if somebody's sitting at the desk, they have the power of the conversation. And so Larry's manager is like, hey, do not let him get that desk for this meeting. And so they catch each other in the lobby and they just start running towards the office and they're like tackling each other.
Oh, what the heck? It's hilarious.
It's so funny, dude. Yeah, I need to see it. I've heard nothing but great things about it. And I've heard that same thing. Like it gets better as it goes on.
It's like Parks and Rec in that respect. Parks and Rec gets better as it goes.
Yeah, I like Parks and Rec a lot as well.
I remember one day at school. Sorry, we need to wrap this up, Nick. I know. I remember one day at school, I told Jackson that I like Parks and Rec more than The Office. He literally looked at me, did the Jim face. He was like, and then walked away from me. It was so funny.
I don't remember that.
That was at the time where Jackson's #1 TV show of all time was The Office. And so I come to him and I'm like, dude, I think Parks and Rec beats The Office. And Jackson, you're literally just like, well, you walked away from me. I don't think you talked to me the rest of that day.
That's so funny.
Still,
I think it was because you were watching The Office, and then you stopped like halfway, and then you started watching Parks and Rec, and I was like, you gotta finish The Office first, man. Okay.
I got to season 6 of The Office, and I was so bored with the characters. And then I've seen like stray episodes towards the finale. I've seen the finale. I've seen stray episodes in between. But like Parks and Rec, I started it, and I was on board the entire show. I was never bored at any point. And I've seen it twice all the way through. So like, I don't know. I just like the cast, like the characters in Parks and Rec more, like the whole team in general. I just like them all together.
I can see that for sure.
Amen.
You just broke me, Nate. The characters got boring? How is Dwight Schrute boring, my friend?
You can only see pranks done on Dwight Schrute so many times.
Well, I get what Nate is saying though. Like I don't necessarily agree that they get boring, but I can.
I'm not saying the characters get boring. I'm saying I got bored with the show. The show.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like getting sick of the formula behind it. Like, oh, I know what's going to happen in this episode because they've set it up.
It's just kind of like you can only see Jim's face so many times. Parks and Rec, you can make the argument for Parks and Rec too, but I love what they do with like Leslie Knope running for city council. That's my favorite season. And then I love what they do with the final season, which I won't spoil, but like the final season is like different than any other season, which I don't think Nick, I think Newport. Bobby Newport is amazing. Like I absolutely
that's my favorite character.
I think it's Bobby Newport Jr. though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's Bobby.
Yeah, but it's like Bobby Newport.
What were you?
Yeah. What was that, Nick?
You were like, I don't know, Nick, and then
I think you've told me, maybe it was someone else though. Someone told me that they weren't a fan of the final season of Parks and Rec because of what they do.
I wasn't the biggest fan. I liked it. I
just think it's like creative, and I think it worked.
I like have you guys seen the quarantine episode that they released?
Yeah, I have. Of course, I have. It's good.
Yeah, it is. John Ralphio is one of my favorite characters, even though he's so obnoxious.
I love John Ralphio. Tommy T, it was the craziest of crazy.
Yeah, Jackson. he's like, mom? Like, I can't remember. It's like that whole line where he's like,
it was the craziest of craze. There was dancing, drinking, clubs, tables, naked. Mom?
To this day, it's like, what does that mean?
Like, all right, I'm gonna crash on your couch. I'm gonna crash on your couch. Because I'm totally wasted.
He's so stupid. See, that's the
Tom look at the camera and it's like, well, guess that happened.
Well, that's another thing. Parks and Rec's side characters are arguably. I mean, I'm no TV show connoisseur, but like Parks and Rec's TV show side characters are some of the best side characters of any TV show. Like Perd Hapley, John Ralphio, and like there's that mayor that's always caught in a scandal or whatever. On the way to apologize for his scandal, he commits another scandal. It's like, what?
Councilman Jam, love him.
Oh, Councilman Jam. I've never been a fan of Councilman Jam. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Councilman Jam.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that. I know we're like trying to wrap up, but like on the Parks and Rec train, because I really do like Parks and Rec a lot. When you first watched the show, like the appeal was for me was Chris Pratt, because I hadn't seen it until like maybe a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Swanson is probably the best character out of like any character you could have for a sitcom. Like, and I love
Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson's amazing though. The episode where he's trying to get offline is my favorite episode probably in Parks and Rec. Where Tom's sitting there and he's recording every single thing that's happening. And Ron's getting mad at him, and he's like, I call it, Ron, getting off the grid or something like that. It's so good. I love that show so much. It's so fun.
Since I kind of dissed The Office, I will say I think that Michael Scott is one of the greatest TV characters of all time. Like what Steve Carell does with that character, like there are actually moments of The Office where I get like teary-eyed, and like I haven't seen it in a while, but like I just remember I'm not like I think The Office is a good show, and Michael Scott one of the greatest characters of all time, but I do like Parks and Rec more, just for the record.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more emotional beats in The Office, like especially the episode like before he leaves, where they sing 9,986,000. Dude,
the thing is when they sing the 5,000 Candles in the Wind, that to me makes me want to cry.
Because it's about little Sebastian.
But also, it's because like all of them are together, and like Duke Silver or whatever comes out with his sax, and I'm like, yes.
Like, and what I love about it too is, I love like about Ron, for example. I love that he has, two wives that are named Tammy.
Tammy, it's all Tammy.
It's all Tammy.
He only dates Tammys.
Yeah. And then what's funny though is Tammy too, the one who's like crazy and all sex crazy and stuff. That's his wife in real life. That's Nick Offerman.
Yeah.
Nick Offerman.
And they totally take advantage of that for the quarantine episode.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure. But I think we should probably
let's call it quits.
Pretty long. I just want to thank Jackson and Nate for being on here. Honestly, you guys are like, I consider you guys both like really, really good friends. I mean, Jackson, I haven't met you in person yet, but hopefully someday.
Yeah, hopefully someday, man.
We got to go Criterion shopping someday, like all
someday.
We can find a way to trifecta into Utah to do that,
dude.
That'd be cool.
That would be so. Like, honestly, like that would be like that would just.
That might have to be like a 3-day trip or something, not for the driving, but like for each day to go Criterion shopping.
Yeah, no kidding. July would be a better month to do it though, because Jackson, you and I could road trip to a midpoint, and Nick could meet us or something.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
Because you'll be in AZ, right?
In July, yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know when I'm moving out to LA yet, so I'll let you guys know. Yeah. We should actually try to make that happen.
I agree. Nicholas from his channel, I invited him to go with Nick and I this November, and he accepted. So,
heck yes.
Yeah, Nick and Nate. Let's hope we can get it,
dude. It's gonna be great. N. That's it's
N. Yeah.
No, we can kind of go around, talk about like what we have coming up. I know Jackson, you have film school coming up, so that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everybody for being here in the chat. And I am super happy that we were able to do this. I don't know, like for sure, like someday we'll probably do this again, but we don't have any plans right now. I mean, all of us are kind of busy right now, but for sure, hopefully I can do a video with Jackson. I kind of have an idea of something that I want to do with you, Jackson, if you're down for it in the future.
Okay, yeah, shoot it at me.
We'll talk.
As long as it's not top 10 anime drummers.
It's not. It is. It's
dang
actually, it! It's going to be kind of like what Nate and I did with top 10 movies that belong on Criterion. I want to do a video with you, top 10 movies that shouldn't be on Criterion.
Jellyfish Eyes, or whatever it's called.
I don't know. Maybe that could be like something that all three of us could do if we really wanted to or something. But like, I don't know. I kind of had that idea. That would be kind of cool.
It'd definitely be a lot of hot takes.
But yeah. So Nate, Nate, do you want to like say where people can find you online or?
Yeah, for sure. Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, they're all at cinema_Nate. That's N8. Follow me if you want. Letterboxd is probably what I've used the most out of those three, but I do post to all three of them. And then my channel is Nathan Hale Movies. I saw Nick put it in the description, so you can just click that. But I did want to say kind of like an update for my channel in the future. Yeah. I never want to say that like I'm leaving YouTube, so don't freak out or anything, but it's a thing where when school starts, that's my number one priority. And so to those who are still watching 2 hours, 45 minutes in, I do want to say that like I won't be posting as much as I want to be. It definitely won't be that once a week. It'll be more like once a month or twice a month, maybe. It's just that I'm a senior in college and then working 25 hours a week. So like, not to like pity story me, but it's just that like as much as I love this, I kind of have to prioritize other things. But yeah, it's hard, but just want to throw that out there. But I do plan on making some videos in October, and yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Yeah, Nate is great content. I'm sure a lot of you guys came over from him anyway. I would appreciate. Yeah, Nate. It's kind of funny because like we talked about this last time, but like I met Nate through YouTube. So if it wasn't for YouTube, I mean, Nate and I wouldn't be friends. And yeah, he's just a great guy. What you see on camera is what you get in real life. So.
Oh well, thanks, Nick. Thanks.
Jackson, what about you? Where can people like find you on social media? And you can talk a little bit about film school, I guess, when you're starting and all
that. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, it's just my name, how it's spelled on the display, not with the Toucan Sam. Actually, it's only Toucan Sam. So that's my name on Instagram. Film school, it's happening. I don't know where and I don't know when exactly. It's definitely going to be next year. And I think I'm going to go in focusing on like sound and sound mixing and stuff like that. And hopefully work my way up in their program to like directing, and then yeah, go from there. I don't really have much other than that. It's just I'm excited. It's what I've wanted. I think I was gonna do an acting program because I was thinking about, because I that was my first thing that I got into was acting. I don't know if you knew that, Nick. I knew Nate knew that, but
I definitely knew that. Jackson's an amazing actor, by the way. I've seen him in several plays and I acted alongside him. He's amazing.
Thank you. That means a lot. That really does. Yeah, I don't take compliments very well, but I really do appreciate it.
I mean it, man. I genuinely mean it. Anyways,
it means a lot. It really does. But I didn't think that. It sounds so stupid, but I hate looking at myself, so I don't want to do that for a living. I don't want to have to go to premieres and watch myself constantly. And I like making movies more anyway. I like that process more. Yeah. So for me, that was what made more sense. So I chose that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can say this, like I said, I haven't met Jackson in person, but like I consider Jackson a friend for sure. Like,
same here, man.
Movies and I can't wait till I get to meet you in person, though, dude. Like, and dude, honestly, like I've never acted alongside with you or anything like that, but dude, I can tell that you have a lot of talent and you're super passionate about it. So like, I think it's awesome, man. Maybe one day film together. That'd be
heck yeah. I was actually going to ask you about your short film script and if you're going to be directing it, because I've directed a couple short films and I'll tell you, it's a pain in the butt sometimes when you don't have like the people you want. So
I'm gonna direct it. kind of working on, like, there's certain things that I want that I kind of need other people for, so I'm trying to figure that out. But yeah, it's really exciting. It's going to be a short horror film, and I actually want to put it into festivals next year. So probably
cool.
And see what happens. Just kind of
I'll
like,
be right up your alley, Nick. Horror, that's awesome.
dude. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's got like a really cool twist, which I don't reveal to anybody except for Michaela because she's my wife. But you can find me here on this channel that you're on right now, Nick Talks Flicks. And hit that subscribe button. I mean, it would really mean a lot. Consider hitting it if you like movie content. And I do collabs with Nate. I'll do collabs with Jackson in the future. I'm sure that we'll do another live stream sometime in the future. We don't have any plans right now because, again, everyone's busy. But I have I'm finishing up my Nolan series. I have Insomnia, which I just watched today. I'm actually in the process of editing it right now. Hopefully that'll probably be up tomorrow, to be realistic. And then I actually have a very fun video that's going to be torturous. I'm going to be binge watching every single Twilight film and recording my reaction. And it's probably going to be awful. But
it will be awful.
I'm doing it, just for fun. And I think it's going to be a cool video. And then this month I kind of have wrapping up Nolan stuff. And then next month is going to be all horror for my channel. So pretty excited about that. All my social links are down below. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitch, because I stream over at Twitch. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for being here. It's been awesome being able to talk films, and we hope that we could get to all the questions. If we missed a question, we apologize. I think we did a pretty good job this time around. I think we got to it. So.
I'd say so.
But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. If you've been here, like the video if you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you guys in the not too distant future.
Have a great night.
Yes.
Peace out.
Peace.
Fare thee well.